students and startups, delivering over 10 keynote addresses across universities and training more than 5,000 students in IPR laws and patent drafting. Alongside mentoring over 20 startups in innovation, design, and entrepreneurship, he has also led pivotal research projects such as compositional mapping of asteroid Bennu and CMT superconductor electrode inverse battery with antifreeze electrolyte mechanism for low temperature. He has contributed as a team member to major global initiatives like CMS, CRN, led the design, fabrication, and deployment of detectors, RPC, GEM, and CSE, while they are completed at Bhabha Atomic Research Center. Additionally, he was a key contributor to the Indian Neutrino Observatory project, where he was actively involved in the design and development of a specialized glass chamber for neutrino detection, a project completed at Bhabha Atomic Research Center. In academia, he has held esteemed position and shouldered many responsibilities at institutions like the University of Mumbai and the Institute of petrochemical engineering. In the industrial domain, he has served as a chief scientific advisor for various organizations, reflecting his versatile expertise. In addition to his professional role, he's an ambassador for democracy for UNESCO and ISP, contributing to global scientific and democratic collaboration. His his vast experience and visionary leadership make him a source of inspiration for aspiring innovators and scientists. Let's all welcome such an eminent personality here in this workers. Welcome, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I request Mr. Rinkesh Kurkure, sir, to guide us regarding patent filing.
Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible? Yeah. The spaces are empty at the start. If you guys have an opportunity to fill them up. I said opportunities. Okay. And before I start, I'm having a small survey with you guys that how many of you are working professionals over here and how many of you are a stepping stone into the professional network? How many of you are students? Okay, most of them are PhD. Patience, hard work, pursuing PJ. They are students. And okay, so as I come from the industry, let me start your post-lunch session with a small story. That small stories of a jungle. You will say, what is the relation of an IPR and a jungle? Correct. But you will come to the end of that. Okay. No, my voice can go directly also. Am I audible at the end? So, jungle. And my dear friends, I will say, those who are going to be the job seekers, that is just obeying the boss. And AI is coming, so you will be not having the bosses. And you will be kicked out. That is a fact, and you need to be known with that. So, jungle. And your friends are beautiful rabbits and the deers in the jungle who are always for getting poached in the jungle. A bottom layer, right? If they roam freely, what happens? There is always a leopard sitting outside trying to chase and take it as a food. New face in the industry, and industry is cruel. Like a jungle. They are not going to leave you. And hyenas are there to catch the feed and go away. You are team leaders. Do the donkey hard work by you, and they will take the credit and go away. There is another case of jaguars and stuff. Solo hunters come with the speed and go off with the speed. The I-10s, IAMs. Then something which comes with a big fat stuff. Your elephants, the MNCs, who don't care what the hell you want to do. They know their own business. And at the top tier, you have something called as lion and a pride. What happens? This is a normal scenario, right? Now there is a drought. Your inflation has reached. The water has been scarred. The food has been scarce. Now the fight starts or the struggle starts for the life. The good days was your college days. Now you are stepping in the industry. Everybody for their own food. What normally happens when a lion pride you see? It is a lioness which hunts. And the lazy lion rolls out and eats. Now, when there is a situation in a jungle and the pride could not hunt, what happens? Anybody? What happens? It is the time when a male alpha lion gets up, makes a kill, he eats solo and then allows the pride to eat. You know who is that guy in this entire situation? He is the CEO of the company. He will not speak anything or something. He will get up when everything has been screwed up. Will stand, take the decisions, will make a strike of the deal, and will move on. So if you want to be one to have a job or you want to make your own careers, depends on in your own hand. So work hard and look at the CEO position. If you need to be a CEO position, you need to go for a startup, and if you need to have a startup, you need to have an IPR. If you have a patent, you are creating a monopoly in the market, then only you can stand. So those who want to make their own careers and step forward, this session will be for you. And I will give you 4 alphabets. I know it is a drowsing situation for you post lunch. ORID. Observe, research, innovate, deploy. 90% of the people fail at the deployment, and the last alphabet is E. O ride. That E goes for entrepreneurship. You have this graph, and if you need the exponential graph, you need to be out of box. Is been told by the old man style. It is not out of the box. You need to create your own box, define your own matrix. It is my space time. I dwell in this space. You don't have to go someone else. Be thou else where everybody is coming. Simple. Don't seek for employment. Be an employer and give the employment. Okay. So I hope that is good to give you vision and the 4 alphabets ORID. Observe, research, innovate, deploy. At the start of your day, we start with a complaint. This is not good, this is bad. That comes your problem. You have observed it, research it, try to solve the problem, then complaining it. Every problem, a unique solution can give you a patent. Next slide, please. And the content, what I will be talking, I will be directly coming up to the benefits of the grads and undergrads. Then I will be coming to the doctoral and doctoral candidates, then to the professors. I call them as the nation builders. Then institution and accreditation committees, which are associated with that. The basic overview of them with the faculties and the management. Then how an IPR depicts someone in the academic arts. Then what are the types of properties what you have? They have, my previous speakers have given a brief of that already, but I will be giving an refreshed overview so that you are out of your break stuff. And then what are your difficulties when you are filing that, and what is the procedure of the filing, the funding agencies from where you can draw the funds for the same, and then we can have a question answer discussion session. Okay, next slide please. Okay, so starting with the benefits directly to the point, you get an international recognition because when you are filing a patent, it is the first time reported by anybody in the world. And from there, people are seeking the information and doing multiple researches, and the papers have been developed out of that. So you have a very unique recognition. So the slides have been shared, so you can have it. Applied, amplified scholarship offers. If you are going to States, Canada, or Europe, anywhere, few of my students have got an amplified scholarships that before they was being given 60 or something, but as and when they was seen with a CV with patents, it was been raised to 80-85 because everything is linked with the money. If they have an IPR, they can generate the royalty income the university can earn in dollars, which can fund around 10 people's more. So it is a maps of the economics and finance. Research funding, industries can have you job offers or industrial avenues. Royalty income, on which the previous has elaboratively spoken. You can be entrepreneur or you can have a startup recognition, and you can be a market changes in the scenario. Next slide, please. Okay, coming to the professors, it is the same thing, but only increment you have is in the CAS, as it has been said that there is no first or second author, so you get the same marks for all. And you have a collaborative network increment, and mark my words, network is net worth.
Yes.
K is changing to TH. The more network you have and quality network you have, you generate the faster net worth. Because the iceberg seen and iceberg below the water works. Okay, next slide, please. Okay. So for the organization, the marks have been provided for you in the benefits of patents to NBA, NAC, NRF, and AICT. NAC, your criteria 2 or 3, I don't know, recently they have changed to research. In this, your criteria has a patent section, which is uncapped section. And your MBA, January 2024, 25, sorry, they have brought the new circulations with it having a marks in the criteria number 4. That is for the research. Next slide, please. Okay, so you all know the tangible and intangible. The advocate sir has already spoken previously. So I'm just giving a gist that, okay, what you can have in the physical form is land, ornaments, house, and money. What about the brain you are carrying, from which you have all your thoughts side as something? So what categories of that you can patent as first, or how you can save it legally? That is patent, that industrial design, copyright, trademark, GI tag, integrated circuit layouts. If someone is working in electronics or semiconductor industry, it is for them. Plant variety and trade secrets. Trade secret, biggest example is Coca-Cola. And plant variety is the genetical modifications which have been there for our agricultural purposes. Next, please. Okay. So, what are the difficulties you have thought? The first thing comes as a confidence. Can I do it? We are not sure, right? But I will say the inventor himself is responsible for that to answer, because he knows he copied it or he has done it himself in the laboratory. If he has done it in his own laboratory, then he should be confident enough to answer that. If he is fumbling, कहीं पे तो पानी जा रहा है बॉस. So confidence. Then second question is, okay, I have decided now that I have to go for it and I can do it. So what is the procedure? So I'll be talking about what is the procedure. Then comes, can I do it myself or I need someone else help to do that? That is patent agents or lawyers. I will say first few you can do your homework and but you hire the professional. The only difference makes is the way of representing it. Even though they cost you, they make a hell lot of difference. To give you an example, I can give a single statement. I want two volunteers to punctuate that statement. Can I get two volunteers? Anybody. It is not that hard and fast. I need an English grammar expert or what. Simple statement. I want a boy, a girl. Gender equality. Okay. Anybody? Yeah. Just stand up and I will give the statement. Everybody can write it and yes, that's a nice one. Give a round of applause for him. Okay. Yeah, just hold on. Anyone more? Okay. Who's that lady? Yes. Okay. Everybody, punch in your hand, and the statement goes like this: a woman without her man is nothing. A woman without her man is nothing. Just write that statement in your notebooks and try to punctuate yourself also. A woman without her man is nothing. Actually, I have answered you by pardoning the statements
Yeah.
twice or thrice. If someone has caught that.
So, can I answer?
Just a second.
Yeah.
I have two volunteers.
Okay,
Previously, I asked that time you can raise the hands up.
I thought.
Yes. That was an open opportunity. Sorry if you missed that. Yes. Yeah, you have the mic. Okay, you have done. Ladies first. Go with the opportunity. तिच्यात कॉमा फुल स्टॉप वगैरे हे जे असतं एक्सक्लेमेटरी मॅक वगैरे ते तुला त्याच्यात टाकायचंय. मराठी इज प्रिटी बॅड. Sure, you can answer.
A woman without her man is nothing.
Full stop. Okay. Like that, if I need to speak for more 2 hours, I will be gone crazy without taking a pauses. Okay. She's ready. Yes.
A woman. Without her, a man is nothing.
Yes.
Good. Okay. She wanted to answer that.
The
If,
science was same only.
okay. So I give you the solutions A and B. Okay. The first solution: a woman, comma, without her, comma, man is nothing. Full stop. Okay. B. A woman, comma, without her man, comma, is nothing. It just with the article. I just shifted a comma previous and back. Changed the entire zone of meaning. Correct? That is where your legal expertise come into picture. Why this example was given, a similar way, a semicolon was missing in an application filed by Puma in late 60s, due to which they lost their trademark. Puma's cat, you know, right? They don't have its cat as a logo now. They have lost the case for $3.2 billion. हाँ, because 60 years की भरपाई देनी पड़ी ना ब्लू कैट कंपनी को. So this commas and everything is very very important. Thank you very much for them and have a great round of applause for them. Okay, so can I do it? And I will come to the section of claims where I will be precisely telling you where to put what. So first, self or agent if you are giving it to the agent also, it is your responsibility to go word by word to it. So sometimes you might feel that 90% of work is done by you only. It is something like given $1,000 bill where 999 dollars is for the expertise and $1 is for the screw. Because when to put, where to put, how much force has to be applied, cost, and that is earned by them for with the years of experience. And YouTube and everything is there, but books are your fundamentals. Make your fundamentals strong. This is for the students. Your professors has already achieved it. We call that as a PhD, right? Doctorate. P, patience, hard work, and determination. With the start, when I was in BSc, my guide told me the same thing first. Do this experiment. Wash the utensils first. For 1 month only, he made me do that. Because till you do not get the patience, you are not allowed. Now you have done the patience, now come to the hard work, and now get on the pinnacle, and now sustain at the pinnacle. Okay, then you have decided I will go self, or you go with the agent or attorneys or a lawyer, whatever. Cost of filing. If you do it, the cost will be reduced, the quality might be compromised. You are taking with an agent or something, the quality will good. With the quality, the cost comes into picture. Then what type I should file? So beforehand, I told you there are 5 to 6 types, out of which we need to file and how much time is required. Okay, so this is specially for the doctoral students and the guides. As and when you have approved the topic of the student and doing your procedures of the university and your research committee approves, you file for a provisional patent. First, make the milestone. Okay, there are 4 objectives: first year, second year, third year, fourth year. Milestone has been defined. Milestone wise, first only you file a priority application because it gives you 12 month of working time period. Utilize that. Before this 1 year is ending, you put the second one, which is second milestone. Complete it. 4 years, 4 milestones. Bomb off with your four, because the first one get granted. Till that time you have your certificates to be attached and the application for files attached at your, this is at the bottom, creating a valued spaces to that. Okay, next slide please. Okay, I will be fast on the slides because my previous people has already spoken. As you are coming from a break, I will be just refreshing that in your mind. So benefit of a getting patent is a unique access to each claim from the time of initial filing. That is the date you have filed an application. That monopoly right starts from that date. If you are going for a production of that, you don't have to wait that it is granted or not. As you have filed, you can start. If you are confident enough, and the confidence come if you have done the work. Okay. Or you know of whom you have copied. So what portion you have copied, you know that. You can skip out of that. As soon as the provisional patent application is filed, the applicant is assured of the security and assurance that no other person or organization can get ideas similar to his invention. Okay. The most important thing is if you are filing in India, the jurisdiction of working remains in India, but its validation or cross examination will be done across the globe. Because we have done treaties with other countries on the commerce platform. That is what the PCT application was coming into picture. That while I'm filing in India, I can also file for the PCT application. That after India, within a 12-month space, I'm filing into other countries because of their laws and with their procedure to secure my market in that particular country. So that means if, for an example, I have a patent for say this bottle, I have patented it in India. I have 12. If I have filed with the PCT application within a 12-month time span, I can file it into different countries and secure it. But I need to file an application in that countries. The PCT will do the half of the work of that, and the half remaining legal procedure has to be carried out for that same country with that particular fee structure which has been defined. Okay, the freedom to operate and freedom to change, return of investment. These patents are investment. Like we have an investment of watches. In India, I do not know how many of people think watches are your assets. Okay, or you can get a return of investment on the watches. Then changes of getting a good name in the market. But obviously, if you are unique in the market or monopolic in the market, you can ensure the stakes of that. To give a best example of that, a toothpaste. How many of you go and ask a shopkeeper, give a toothpaste? Major of the answer comes as a Colgate. Colgate is a brand. There are thousands of brands which are making a toothpaste, but no one goes and says that give me a toothpaste. 90% of the people say that give me a Colgate. The other brand is Gillette. There are multiple razor industry products available or the companies available, but 90% of these say Gillette. Monopolistic stand and innovations. Okay, then you have public exposures. Then patent rights allow you for public disclosure, which helps the inventor build his portfolio, increasing funding, market value, and business partners. To give an example, like Sir has disclosed you about the die, I will tell the further part of that, which has already been filed, almost on the verge of getting grant. Therefore, die of that which is degradable and suitable for the human body. Tattoos. Use it after some time, you can degrade it off and can be removed off. Also, work with the melanin deficient patches, the white patches on the skin for that. So you need to find the unique applications of the stuff and do it and go in the market. If you have a unique product, you get the investors properly and also the business partners. But yes, make proper due diligence of the same. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, law. Coming to, I'm not going to speak on the law. I'm just giving you all the chapters heading, and it's just in 2 or 3 slides. The silent feature says that it is for both product, process. Now I've shared the presentations. You can have it from the committee already. Both product and process. Product is this, and how to make this is your process. The term is 20 years, expandable with 5 years, but I personally think extend it for 5 years is useless because the technology becomes outdated and of no use. To give an example, Nokia 1100, hardcore mobile phone. Now, absolute no use. So extend it with the 5 years is of no good use and waste of money. Then request of examination. Most of the people file the application or agents make the fool. They file the applications for you. Say the patent is published. Brother, what is the use of that? As you are completed your doctorate and you have published the papers, right? If you send a copy to an editor, the receipt of the paper getting received by the editor at his table, can you call it as a paper being published in a journal? Absolutely not. It is the same thing. The publication of is like a mandate given that it has been received and it is for the public open, so that anybody thinks that before examination they find that okay, this is violating our stuff, you can make an opposition and their work has been ready down. The costing comes into examination. So where they make a fool is put it to publication, change the title, change the authors. He is rotating the same thing into stuff. So tell him we want it filed for the examination. So as he filed for the examination, it gets locked up. He can't make the amendments. Okay. Pre-grant and post-grant. Sometimes your certificate is also generated, but I later on understand that oh, my product was similar. He is using the same thing. I can raise post-grant opposition also. Make null and void of your claims. Okay. Fast track mechanism for disposal. This is, I won't like to comment, but I can comment it in the same way that all the documents or applications goes through serial number. So the service as a fast track, I don't understand how it goes into fast track. If it goes into serial number wise, that is economics and the finance for the government of India. Okay. The provision of protection of biodiversity and traditional knowledge. आजीबाईचा बटवा traditional knowledge and biodiversity, I say, is discovery and not the invention. A species of the frog is discovered, it has not been invented. Okay. And the most important thing, if you're writing for your own self, then write it the claim very properly, stating the product and process both. Obtained and obtainable makes a difference. By this reaction, the product is obtained, and by the reaction of this reactants, this byproduct is obtainable. There is a huge difference. You are protecting one and you are protecting both. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, it extends to the whole of India. It's in 1970, and so that section was separated out of it in 2000 by Design Act. Yeah. What patents could not be given in India is one which are used for defense, nuclear sciences, or for mass public usage, or it is a food, that is agricultural produce, or the drugs, that is pharmaceutical drugs or medicines. Or the procedure of operating, due to which, for an example, surgery. Okay. I could not patent the way I need from the surgery, right? Because it will happen to lakhs and lakhs of people. So that methodologies are not being preserved. And if novelty should be there, the most important thing, uniqueness. Every objective, what is the USP of the product? That is novelty coming into picture. Next slide, please. The three important meanings, and in the questions you can ask me why then the pharmaceutical substance has defined. This is what the defined in 1970, or mistake when GR was released, but its meaning is given as it is in the law. Any means any new entity involving one or more inventive steps. I don't know how that definition come into picture, but it is the same. The patent agent, the patented article, the research stuff, what you write or the data becomes your article, and the person with the power of attorney to execute on behalf of you or you yourself is a patent agent or an individual. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, I will not go into this. Next slide, please. Yeah. Okay, so as I told you already about the professional specification, the professional gives you a best part that you file it today and leverage means of opportunity to carry out your research work, and then you submit the complete specification. If you have done your entire stuff, you can directly file the complete specification. But if your work is not yet complete and secure, because the idea has a lifespan of a banana. How a banana has a lifespan? Very less. It is something like that. Okay. Then it's a specification. I will come in the next slides with that. Next, please. Okay. As I told you that the patent application which goes for the publication under section 11A, that as in you submit in a particular format to the controller, it is made publicly available to the controller under its powers for the public to view that, and if need to, oppositions, grant oppositions. Okay, next slide, please. Most of you picture and say that we have to be patent. Sorry, concept is not that. All the patents are restricted in the province or territorial. That is, if you are filing in India, they are for India only. That is the borders governed by the India land borders plus water bodies plus SEZ zones or EZ zones, you what you call. But there is a special rules in the EZ that if any country vessel is coming into our zone, you could not claim that EA has violated out directly because it's manufactured there and it has came for some services and it will be moving out. Okay. Ha. If you are an Indian, you need to file first in India and then you need to file it in other countries. Or else you violate the section 39 of Indian Patent Act 1970, which is an unbailable offense, or CRPC 121 has been issued on that. Anybody from the law over here? Legal background? Okay. Uh, Late times, I think so. I do not know when that clause. Yes. Yeah, you are a legal practitioner. Yeah, he can tell you what is CRPC 121. Mike, please to him. He can read the statements from the. Yes. But I do not know the equivalent because I am not a lawyer. Yeah, you can come here. I can give you. Ata's, I don't know the equivalent of that, but I can tell the old one. See, this was the old one.
पेटेंटसाठी जे होतं ना, तर यामध्ये
एक minute, ये लो. Direct IP set. Okay, I wanted to communicate that under Section 39 of the Indian Patent Act, it states that you could not file out of India without the written permission of the government of India. Okay, and if you are violating that, then it has been prosecuted under the Section 121 of the Indian IPC,
ते केस
which
मॅजिस्ट्रेट
is
समोर चालते आणि त्या जे प्रोसिक्यूट जे prosecute होते त्यामध्ये त्याला 2 वर्षाची
10 वर्षाची.
10 वर्षाची शिक्षा दिलेली आहे आणि ते डिस्ट्रिक्ट मॅजिस्ट्रेट समोर पहिले ते केस चालली जाईल. त्याच्यानंतर आपण अपील करू शकतो नेक्स्ट कोर्टमध्ये. अशी प्रोसिजर आहे त्याची. फर्स्ट स्टेप तुम्ही डिस्ट्रिक्ट मॅजिस्ट्रेट जवळ जाल आणि तिथे अप्लाय कराल केसची.
In short, it is put up as against the Nation Act. नाही नाही
चेंज झाले. आधी ही प्रोसिजर होती 121 अंतर्गत चालू होती. देन नंतर बीएनएस आलं, बीएनएसएस आलं. तर आता हे प्रोसिजर ते कोणत्या ऍक्ट अंतर्गत म्हणजे कोणत्या सेक्शन आहे ते माहिती नाहीये. तर आधी
इंडियन कोड होता त्याला मी BNS नाव का दिलं भारत
भारतीय न्याय
हा.
नाही 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 भारतीय न्याय संहिता आयपीसी आहे. भारतीय सुरक्षा
just name change है. End of the day it is the same thing. It is the same thing.
फक्त फक्त सेक्शन चेंज झालेले आहेत, नंबरिंग चेंज झालेले आहेत, बाकी प्रोसिजर सेमच आहे आणि जे ब्रिटिशांनी ऍक्ट इन्क्लूड केले होते ते काढून टाकलेले आहेत त्यांनी.
Okay. So the end of the day, if you are getting someone saying that Australian patent everything, thank you very much. Let me file it first. Once you file for me in India first, then you file in us. I don't want to be a kangaroo in the jail. And the interesting part of that is also a tweak. They use the word not citizen of India. They have written the word as a resident of India. If I go out of Indian borders, I stay 6 months over there, I become a non-resident Indian, and I am legally flawless to file it in another country. So no comments on that. Why did they do it? Because it's at the end of the day business. Okay. So for you, the information is, if someone comes and tells that I will give you a global and I have an intellectual patent, then I won't kick your ass. Don't make me a fool. Okay. Next slide, please. The tenure is 20 years, the additional 5 years of time period. After expiry, it is outdated, so no use in going into that of that. Next slide, please. Okay. So what are the criteria? It should be new, it should be useful, it should be non-obvious, it should be industrially applied. Don't do a white collared begging. Simple. You are paying a tax. A common man is paying a tax. Their money is being churned back as a resource to you. So it is your responsibility also and my responsibility also to give it back to the society. If I'm using their money, I'm doing the research and giving back by an industrial formulation where around 1,000 people can be employed, then it is worth of my work. Or else I call it as a white collar begging. Because you are utilizing that hard earned money of the people for your personal interest. You was interested in the topic of the research, the public was not interested in that because they did not get anything from that. I'm making that as a bold statement on the stage. If you are capable enough of that, then make it for the society. Straightforward. If you are doing it, you are going for a patent and you are making employment generation for them. That's what I said at the benefit at the start. Be an employer, take a royalty income, make someone else make an employment generation. But at the end of the day, there should be an employment generation out of that. More employment generation, more product into the market, more sales. End of the day, you are going to churn the mint. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, what can be patented is your process, machine, manufacturing, ornamental designs, and variety, and the new improvements. Already the people has spoken a lot on this, so I will not go into this. Or you want me to speak on this? Okay, next slide, please. The most important stuff you need to understand if you need to write your own patents is what all cannot be patented. I am in love with my AC. I could not put the scissors, but the main important thing is to put the scissors only. We know the every line and look what we have written, but it is very hard to put the scissors and cut out the stuff. That hardest work will not be done by your agent. That will be given in your neck only. You do it. So anything which is against the universal law could not be done, then a business skill could not be patented in India, mathematical methods could not be done, and artistic creation could not be. This goes into your copyright. Then an invention may cause disruption to public orders, challenge moral grounds, causing harm to any living beings. Example, your COVID virus. Or any viruses which is genetically modified or made it into a laboratory and been sent into the society which is harming the society, or the mere arrangement or rearrangement or mixing or the duplication of the substances, as I already said, ADR and KCl, ionic changes, or putting instead of KCl putting NaCl, nine, not 100%, I will get 99% result, no? Generic, all good. Side effects also generic. Then That is a cost cutting effect. And something with the nuclear energy inventions. Anything which is related to atomic and defense, absolutely not allowed. They can be done, but the procedure is slightly different. You need to go through atomic energy commissions and the defense mechanisms, but it has been kept by the defense mechanism at their own end. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so comes to the main part, steps for patenting. How the flow goes, it starts with filing, then it is published, then it is examined, a position is generated, first, second, third, and so viva voice, everything you cleared out, then it gets granted. The further part is licensing if you think to do the commercialization of the same. What process as an inventor I need to do if I need to write that is, first I need to do a prior art. The strongest literature survey you have, the best output you can generate, because you know what types of weapon you have to put the scissors correctly. Then draft and file a patent application. Then it will go into examination. In the examination, the people will coordinate the things what you have written with respect to the prior art you have submitted in that and the examples to create that product. Why I'm saying product? Because the process is included in the product. So it is very, very important for you to write the correct literature review of the thing and the different examples to achieve the same output with the same quality. Here, sometimes chemist and biochemist, which I gave previously an example, tries to play so that they wanted to increase polar and non-polar solvents. I have gone through stuff like that. Or what polar and non-polar solvents? It creates an entire chemistry in that. Stoichiochemistry has been screwed up. Does that will react or not? That is another question to answer. So the rejection comes here because you have said any polar and non-polar solvent. I take acetone and do the reaction. It doesn't happen. The solvent. Okay. Then, as the objections are raised, they are become as FR, first examination report, second examination report. Okay. So with your first examination report, the objections are listed out. You need to answer the corresponding technically. Usually, if you're weak, it's fine, but you need to give them a technical answer because the panel is doctoral in that particular subject and subspecialization with LLM. So LLM part they slightly excuse, but they say technical knowledge should be strong. Okay, 3 times that happens. If then also they are not convinced, they will call you for a face-to-face meeting, Viva. Then also they are not satisfied. They can ask you to perform in front of them and bring the product and everything with you so that they can check out. But that they do not reach till that time. In the Viva voice only they stamp, accept, reject, whatever. You have made the defense, then it goes for grant, registration, and then for 20 years you need to pay each year the particular fees. If you have commercialized it, then the company 2% agreement cost with that. Is it clear? Any questions in this part? Anybody having questions in this part? Okay, we can move further then. Okay, so prior art, from where or what are the sources from where you can take it? Previous patents you can see from different countries. Then patent applications, I will have written previous patent and slash. The reason is once you are granted and few which are not granted but are in application stage or provisionals are been filed on that, the complete specification has to yet come. But yes, they have disclosed that idea with the secured manner. Then publish article, journal, magazine. Then your supplier, if you have a chemical supplier, then they have a entire brochure of chemicals and stuff. In that, sometimes they disclose that at the end. Then consumer products on the market, peripherals, etc. The web, internet, online platform, blogs, or anywhere, radio or television, or public demonstration like you do, posters, seminars, or some symposiums. Okay, there is one loophole over here. Okay, if you have made a public disclosure of your invention by poster or something, but that conference or something was organized by some ministry, then you get 1 year of time period to file the patent application on that, even though it is in the public disclosure because it was of the government, but not aligned by. It should be an event of the ministry. So that is a loophole. Sometimes the ministry directly organizes, like DST, DBT directly organizes some conferences, not sponsored conferences. I'm talking direct conferences, like CSR. They have Young Scientist Conference directly by them, or women scientist conferences or something. In that, if you are publishing, then you get a 1 year time period. You can make the maximum benefit of that because the questions and your work has been already done. You know, someone else, if I've asked some objective questions, you can add that and refine it and give it. Okay, next slide. So where you can get all or major of your prior art, WIPO, that is World Intellectual Property Office. The sub part of that is a patent scope. From there, you can take the European Patent Escape Net, NPAS of India, OEC, OPCs, then Japanese patent office. The one which are in the pink at the top are different government organizations. The one which are in orange are your paid services of private bodies, private companies. You can put a subscription and take and search. I would say avoid them because that same data is available in the other stuff and your research paper sites that you might be very well known with, like Google Scholar, ResearchGate, and PubMed and everything. After you accumulate the entire data out of that, then you will go for the literature survey. Then you will understand the gap. Okay, I was thinking this, but out of this, A, B, C, D, E, F, G is already been done. Then M, N, O, Q, and everything is done. The remaining is for G, H, I. You can claim on that. Particulars. Yeah, someone has asked that about 40 claims, right? The government of India gives 8 claims free. Above that, you need to pay. So it is their pocket directly. So they say that give us more. They will say you have given it, we have not. So on behalf of you only I have drafted. And if they are getting rejected out, yes. But I will say they one claim only can be written as which looks good as 8 claims because we have something called a semicolon. It doesn't end with the statement. I have not put the full stop at the end of the day. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay, what language you can file? English, Hindi in India. Who can file the patent? The inventor himself or your assignee, agent to whom you have given your power of attorney. That power of attorney should be registered, and when you are giving a registered power of attorney, give that the title of your application. You write it that so that he could not use that power of attorney at other places. Be very, very specific when you are doing your power of attorney, and don't do that 100, 200 stamp paper power of attorney, at least do it for 500 rupees. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, procedure. You can file it online, you can file it offline. If you need to file it online, you can go on the ipindia.nic.in, make an account. All forms are there. You have your Aadhaar card, put it, fill the details. 80% of the form, or I can quote 90% of the form is KYC. The form number two, which is of high importance, is your complete specification. How you write your practical, or you need to write your black book or thesis in 30 pages. Simple. Literature, sir, I will show you the entire flow diagram of how or the structure of your object should be there. Same thing, if you have downloaded an offline forms, you can type it, set the margins and everything as defined by them. But I myself prefer put it into online and click save as PDF and then print out and submit. Why? Because I don't have to do manually margin stuff, setting all the stuff in their particular format. It is automatically done by the system. Then why we need to take the efforts for that? Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so 15 months you have withdrawal provisions if you want to do it. Then, depending on the stages and how much time period you have consumed, the return policy of money is there. Same like your railway tickets and cancellation policies. Next slide, please. If I'm doing overtime, please let me know. Okay. The facility of provisional application, which I have already spoken. Do next slide, please. Next. Okay. So this is very important. What forms you need to write? Form number one, that is application for the grant of a patent. Form number two, invention, where you are giving the complete disclosure and the claims. Form three, the statement and undertaking for foreign application, which is not required for you, because if you are, as I said, resident scenario, if you are filing there and then coming over here, then you need to file this form. Okay. Next slide, please. Declaration as an inventor, form number 18, request of examination, request of for early publication. I will recommend putting form number 18 and 9 together. If you are a woman or any of the inventor is a woman, any, okay, then you file form number 18A and 9A. If you file 18 also, there is no problem. This 18A is specially made for women, so that later on, if you need to claim something for women's schemes and something, it becomes useful. If you have got any, or you saw that your patent which was granted previously has been someone using or something, you need to send a grant opposition, then you use the form number 7A. Next slide, please. Okay, 7A, that is the same thing, which is made into consolidated format. That is the time period at what time you need to file what. But I would recommend you all the response at the same time of the application itself, so that you don't forget it and get screwed up. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, your structure. Can you zoom it, please? Yeah. Starts with the title, then the technical field, aims and objective of the invention, background art, and acknowledging the prior art. That is your literature survey with the proper referencing. Make make an absence of something. For example, uh, if I'm making an alloy or something, and at this proportion, but I know this is optimized, but I need to secure, so I'm doing like, okay, this goes from this to this range. Okay, and I have not specified that at this particular combination only it is having the best results. You have filed it. What I will do is optimized one you have skipped, so I will put it. And if you are doing that, I will say not allowed. connected or not? Yes, no, yes. In the binary system, there is yes or no. You get it or you don't get it. The floating body is. I don't want to speak now. Okay. Disclosure of information, brief description of the drawings. If you have any sketches or something of a particular experiment, their graphs and everything will go into this. Then you need to explain that how you do your research paper. Then example, in example, you need like in chemistry, I said A plus B will give me C. So if instead of B I'm using D, E, F, then A plus E is again giving me D, A plus F is giving me D. So everything has to be given, but the most important is if you are putting 1 millimolar solution, then you need to define it as a 1 millimolar solution. How that millimolar is also made, you define that. Like if I'm using a cobalt nitrate, I can put cobalt nitrate XH2. I need actually cobalt nitrate 6 hexahydrate. I can put it might be X, might be 3 also. No. If you are using 6 hydrohydrate, because the number of grams you are using in a particular molecule water distilled, the millimolar solution is getting because of that 6 water molecule also it is changing the scenario. So, so be very specific and don't try to omit it, showing the smartness like an example I gave that polar and non-polar solvents. The entire chemistry got included in that. Is it possible? Absolutely no. After that, try to write what is an industrial application of that, or where it is going to be used and how it is going to be used. That makes the examiners work very easy because in the criteria grant need to find does it as an industrial application. Give him the faded job. Right. Then the closing statement or conclusion, what we write. Please scroll it down. Then attach the copies of drawings, and here you write the abstract as another different page altogether. Instead of what we write in our research papers at the top, you need to give it in a different page altogether. The claims is one and exceeding above like 40, what did they said, that constitute plurality. Disclosure of invention is the detailed procedure of performing the stuff. It is something like you have written materials and methods. Then you go enter research methodology. It will go as a research methodology. Okay, next slide, please. Okay. Any questions till now? And if you are feeling sleepy, then I should say wake up. This is the most important slide of the presentation. इन्वेंशन लिखा, सब लिखा, प्रोटेक्ट करने क्लेम. अगर यहाँ मट्टी खा ली तो पूरी मेहनत एक संडे या मंडे रोज खाओ सिचुएशन हो जाएगी. Okay. So when you're going to write the claims, it should be very, very precise, very, very sharp in writing. It should, before you write, you should know very clear understanding. You sit with your guide or entire team and come to the okay stuff, and we are doing this only. So you should have a great understanding, technical understanding of the solution. Then you make a dependent and independent claim. Independent claim is okay. This is a straightforward statement. Okay. But if I'm changing some stuff of that and I'm getting some result which is because of that particular orientation, that becomes a dependent claim. Example is your tractor. Your independent claim is a tractor. Your dependent claim is a trolley. The trolley, or whatever I need, I'm just shifting that. So that is dependence dependable variable, and my independent variable is tractor. If I disconnect this, is my tractor going to work? Yes. Which precision? I've given you the comma effect for that. Then the scope of the claim, do not give a long scope, very precise in the scopes. Understand your prior art and write them. And yes, avoid infringements. That's why when you are done the literature survey, you know what people have already done. Try to avoid that stuff in claims. You can write it into literature survey and quote that and state that okay, this is a gap in the problem and which we have solved particularly. And always have some amendment scenario into picture so that you are not booped up. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, patent examination I've already spoken that you get a first examination report, second examination report, and stuff. You have 6 months of time period to reply it back, and you can request for 3 months of extended time period if you are unable to give the answers. The thing is, in examination report, when you receive that, it says in writing, don't put extra words. Or depth and depth. Instead of coming out, you go inside of the stuff. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, spoke in a type zone period. It is a flow chart, and the slides are with you, so you can go through that. That what I initially gave you subtle manner. It is a detailed format for you to understand if you it's the time skip. Yeah, next slide, please. Okay, where you can file or the offices you have Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai. Simple. Fill quarters for each zone. Where you go to college. For example, it goes to Mumbai zone. You file it at Mumbai. If you're working in the northern zone, Delhi, eastern zone, Kolkata, and southern zone, Chennai. Okay, biological samples. You have ATCC and TCC centers. You submit your samples over there and take taxonomical reports and everything that the strain is a true strain and stuff. And you require a national biodiversity authority that you not harm something, which your animal ethical committee permission will be also required with that stuff. Okay, next slide, please. Plant variety. If you are doing genetic modifications also, have of any plants also, they lead to plant variety applications. I'm not covering a lot of that because it is very simple. That's in the form. That's it. And a repository. Yes, this is actually modified and stuff. And the sequencing report for the same. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay. The patent forms. Yeah. Can you zoom that form, please? So now I don't need to speak a lot. You yourself can understand on that. Okay, the first one that is your applicant name, your entire detailed name. Then the second one of application. Can you scroll that, please? What type of application you want to do? Ordinary, collection, or PCT? Then division, is it a patent of addition or what? So normally it's a divisional. Then applicant's full name, house name, street name, everything. Scroll to the other part. If you're taking, yeah, be subtle in writing the title of invention. And the title should be something where it is disclosing what you have done also. For example, if you use of something and which has been applied somewhere, example, if you're using a graphene for an for an battery or something, and you could not give the title like graphene, I've seen something like that. But we can disclose it. So objections have been raised with that. So you supplement writing that. If you're taking agent or something, he will file his address for communications and stuff. As I said, if you're from other country and coming here, then you file the details for the priorities if you're filed in that country and so. And if you're filing a PCT applications, you can follow the column number 9, room number 9, sorry. Okay, next slide, please. These are different forms I have just put up for you to see. It is, as I said, 90% is the KYC only. You can zoom it out, please. See, name of the application, everything, and the FIDs are being provided. You just need to type out your particular details in that. Okay. Forms are given in the slide so that if you don't get it, you can make your own stuff and type it for you for the references so that you can take it from the slides. Yeah. Just scroll to the bottom part. No, just scroll down. Different forms are there. Go down, go down. Yeah. To give an overview with the college perspective, hints, design, copyright section, someone is next to me, and frameworks, but you can college for the copyright section and teachers or magazines, articles, what you publish of the students' dramas and everything, the writing scripts and everything of that. And you can check out the marks in your NBA and NAC committee mates. Next, please. I'm skipping this, please. Due to short of time, I've been instructed to finish off the presentation, so I'm skipping this stuff. Okay, next, please. Go to the bottom. Yeah, wait. This is a classic example. You need to understand that results are also important. How do you feel stitching? स्टिचिंग क्या होगा ना तो अपनी वीडियो जो नॉर्मल लास्ट में दिखाई दिया है करेक्ट और जो है पहला मशीन पे होता है हम लोग मशीन पे नहीं लगा सकते खाली उसका एक आई शिफ्ट होती है मशीन में चेंज हो गई नाउ अंडरस्टैंड stitch costing as a royalty income for that guy who has designed this all the countries and the application where the stitching is used by the machine chairs clothes boots sofas and everything everything is a stitch so understand the part of that in the textile industry that is why this revolutionary design next slides please okay so one of the is how much generation this two guys screwed Apple. It was their creativity which Apple used, and unfortunately, is not knowing that they had it because they didn't do the proper literature survey for that same. And it is 5,600 year process. Uh, okay, so 90% of them are improvements of the existing patents. Next slide, please. You know the gramophone music iPad, and now the mobile has came. So the utility remained the same, that is listening to music, but the physical form has been changed. So it is just a modification of the previously known knowledge. Government funding agencies, and please next slide. These are the schemes and everything from where you can draw the money. The proper applications. Thank you very much. Have a great time. If you have any questions, I'm over here to answer.
Any questions to anyone or any reflections you want to give?
I think so. The dinner was very good.
No. I have one question regarding examination. You have said,
Yeah.
suppose if everything we have, we have filed for the patent, we have published it, or we have sent it for the publication. If everything is found correct, for examination we pay the fees and all. If everything is found correct, then it will be directed. The work should be. It should. Okay.
Examination report arrives.
It's enough now.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions?
Sleeping, as I said,
No.
very good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for such an enlightful talk. I guess all of us have become very much aware of the patent filing importance. You have keenly explained the steps involved in patent filing, including significance of prior art search, comprehensive strategy for precise claim drafting. And you have also said that, very basic things you have said, that our title should be subtle and it should be very precise regarding the work. So I guess this was really an insightful session. And now I request Ms. Anupriya Prabhu to express a vote of thanks.
Thank you very much. Have a great time. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, respected dignitaries on the dais. Honorable Resource Person Dr. Rinkesh Kurkure, CTO and co-founder Saxino Aerospace Private Limited, Mumbai, esteemed faculty members and dear participants. On behalf of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar College Aund and Mahatma Phule Mahavidyalaya Pimpri Pune, I feel deeply honored to extend my heartfelt thanks to all who have contributed to the success of today's session on step-by-step guide to drafting and filing patents under the state level workshop on intellectual property rights and gateway to innovation and growth. First and foremost, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to our esteemed resource person, Honorable Dr. Rinkesh Kurkure, for sharing his valuable knowledge and experience with us. The step-by-step guidance provided by Dr. Kurkure today will surely empower all of us to better understand IPR and utilize them to foster the innovations. I also want to thank Mrs. Pratima Kadam ma'am, who graciously introduced our resource person and set the stage for today's enlightening session. A special thanks to Principal Sir, Dr. Andre Sir, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar College Aund, and Dr. Panduranga Bhosle Sir, Principal Mahatma Phule Mahavidyalaya Pimpri Pune. Lastly, I would like to thank all the participants. Your enthusiasm and eagerness to learn how truly made this session more interactive. Once again, thank you everyone for being the part of this enriching experience. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving ahead for the session 4, along with the valedictory function, we have with us Honorable Dr. Kishore Nikam sir, Vice Principal, D.Y. Patil College, Pimpri, Pune. Let's welcome sir with a huge round of applause. I request Dr. Maruti Kekane sir to introduce a resource person, Honorable Dr. Kishore Nikam sir.
रयत शिक्षण संस्थेचे डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर कॉलेज पुणे तसेच महात्मा फुले महाविद्यालय पिंपरी पुणे यांच्या संयुक्त विद्यमाने आज आपण वन डे स्टेट लेवल वर्कशॉप आयोजित केला होता. त्यामध्ये सकाळपासून आपण सेशन 1 ते 3 बघितले आणि आपण आज या वर्कशॉपच्या शेवटच्या टप्प्यामध्ये आलेलो आहे. या शेवटच्या म्हणजे 4था सेशन हा आपला प्रोटेक्टिंग क्रिएटिव्हिटी अँड आयडेंटिटी, कॉपीराइट्स, डिझाईन अँड ट्रेडमार्क्स या विषयावर आज डॉक्टर किशोर निकम, उपप्राचार्य डी.वाय. पाटील महाविद्यालय पिंपरी ये उपलब्ध झालेले आहेत. त्यांचा थोडक्यात परिचय करून द्यायचा म्हटलं तर सर सध्या हे प्रोफेसर तसेच बँकिंग, फायनान्स अँड इन्शुरन्स या अभ्यास मंडळाचे सदस्य, सावित्रीबाई फुले पुणे विद्यापीठ, तसेच ते विद्याशाखेचे मेंबर, अकॅडमिक काउन्सिल, सावित्रीबाई फुले पुणे विद्यापीठ. त्याचप्रमाणे त्यांनी डॉक्टर डी.वाय. पाटील आर्ट्स, कॉमर्स अँड सायन्स कॉलेज आकुर्डी येथे प्राचार्यपद हे भूषवलेले. त्याचप्रमाणे सध्या ते उपप्राचार्य आणि विभाग प्रमुख वाणिज्य विभाग डॉक्टर डी.वाय. पाटील कॉलेज पिंपरी येथे कार्यरत आहे. सरांना विविध राष्ट्रीय आणि आंतरराष्ट्रीय स्तरावर त्यांनी संशोधनाचं अतिशय चांगलं काम केलेलं आहे. त्यामध्ये त्यांना इंटरनॅशनल अवॉर्ड गिवन बाय ग्लोबल रिसर्च कॉन्फरन्स थायलंड 2020 याचा एक पुरस्कार मिळालेला आहे. त्याचप्रमाणे त्यांना 3 राष्ट्रीय पुरस्काराने सन्मानित केलेले आहे. त्याचप्रमाणे त्यांना 2 राज्यस्तरीय अवॉर्ड्स यांनी सुद्धा सरांना सन्मानित केलेले. सध्याचे सरांचे 51 पुस्तक हे पब्लिश झालेले. त्याचप्रमाणे सरांनी 54 इंटरनॅशनल आणि नॅशनल कॉन्फरन्स मध्ये त्यांचे पेपर प्रेझेंटेशन, UGC केअर लिस्ट मध्येही त्यांचे पेपर संशोधन लेख प्रसिद्ध झालेले. सरांचा विशेष अचिव्हमेंटचा विचार केला तर सर स्वतः एक उत्तम गायक म्हणून ओळखले जातात. त्यांचे विविध प्रकारचे विविध सॉन्ग त्यांनी संस्कार टीव्ही, सत्संग टीव्ही आणि शुभ टीव्ही अशा विविध टीव्ही चॅनलवर त्यांचे विविध सॉन्ग, संगीत हे प्रसिद्ध झालेले. सरांनी आपल्या अकॅडमिक क्वालिफिकेशन मध्ये टोटल 18 डिग्री प्राप्त केलेल्या आहे. त्यामध्ये विशेष उल्लेखनीय बाब म्हणजे सर सेट, नेट, त्यानंतर CA ही वाणिज्य विभागातील अतिशय महत्वाची डिग्री मानली जाते. चार्टर्ड अकाउंटंट हे सुद्धा सरांनी फायनल ग्रुप सेकंडला सर ती पण पास झालेले. त्यानंतर सरांनी MBA केलेले, MA इकॉनॉमिक्स आहे. त्यानंतर सरांनी LLB सुद्धा प्रवेश LLB साठी घेतलेला आहे. सरांची PhD बिझनेस ऍडमिनिस्ट्रेशन आणि सर हे संशोधक मार्गदर्शक म्हणूनही सावित्रीबाई फुले पुणे विद्यापीठाच्या बँकिंग अँड फायनान्स आणि व्यवसाय प्रशासन यामध्ये संशोधक मार्गदर्शक म्हणून काम करतात. आणि सर सावित्रीबाई फुले पुणे विद्यापीठाच्या विविध प्रकारच्या ज्या सिलेक्शन कमिटी असतात, त्याचप्रमाणे LIC कमिटी, विविध निवड समिती सुद्धा सरांनी विविध पदांवर काम केलेलं आहे. मी सरांचा बायोडाटा खूप आहे, पण थोडक्यामध्ये तर आपण सकाळपासून वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे सेशन ऐकलेले. त्यामुळे परत या महाविद्यालयामध्ये सरांचं मी आंबेडकर महाविद्यालय आणि महात्मा फुले महाविद्यालयाच्या वतीने परत एकदा स्वागत करतो आणि मी माझं प्रास्ताविक थांबवतो. धन्यवाद.
Let's begin with felicitation. I request to Honorable Principal Dr. Pandurang Bhosle sir to felicitate a resource person Honorable Dr. Kishore Nikam, Vice Principal DY Patil College, Pimpri, Pune, with bouquet, Mahatma Phule Vastra and a book. Thank you, sir. We are eager to hear our resource person, Dr. Kishore Nikam, sir. Sir, please guide us.
Honorable Principal Dr. Pandurang Bhosle, Dr. Arun Andhoy, all organizing committee members, all senior faculties, research guides, professors, research scholars, and students of post-graduation. It gives me an immense pleasure to be here today. My favorite topic is patent basically. But as Dr. Shailesh Hingmire was pre-decided, and he is the best option, I think, because Dr. Hingmire has done a lot of work in practically achieving the patents on professional basis. So it was a very good choice, I think. So I was given copyrights, creativity in copyrights and industrial designs, as well as trademarks. So in a nutshell, I would like to try to put in front of you the details about protecting creativity and identity in copyrights, designs, and trademarks. Now, it is actually a difficult task to become a resource person at the last session, especially after lunch. Professor Rinkesh said that many people were taking nap during his lecture. So it is a challenge for me. म्हणजे तो आर अश्विन इंडियाचा बॉलर आहे आणि त्याला एकदा विचारलं तर तो काय म्हणला की महेंद्र धोनी कॅप्टन आहे पण तो प्रत्येक वेळेला मॅच संपायला आली ना आणि जास्त रन असले की तो मला सांगतो जा नीट खेळ जा नीट खेळ. तसं मला भोसले सर तर काळजी करू नका सर, ही मॅच मी जिंकवणारच आहे. ओके, सो गो टू नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. So basically, what is intellectual property? You would have heard about it a lot. You would have studied. You would have discussed a lot. Basically, patents is the first thing which is there under intellectual property rights. Patent is a monopolistic right granted to a person for finding out any method, manner, or process of manufacture. These are the three things which are important for achieving patents. Now, in patents, also two things that publishing patent is one thing, and second is grant of patent. When your patent is granted, so you will get commercial benefit maximum. If anything is patented with granted patent, then good amount of royalty it can achieve. As Rinkesh sir has given example of industrial design, that how one person who is designing one thing, how much money one can earn, it is limitless. There is no limit on earning of money through this. Friends, my basic focus I would like to tell you, in the countries like Japan, USA and China, basically China and Japan, these are the two countries, they have made up a culture of intellectual property rights. For example, for school going students, it is compulsory to provide innovative project, and unless and until the teacher examiners are satisfied, the student will not be passed. This is what very compulsory these countries have done, and that is what the result. These countries are on the top for achievement of intellectual property rights. We are late. We were discussing before the start of my session in Andres's cabin that at least when we were having our jobs, at the inception of our jobs, there was different kind of environment. The way we were writing research papers in conference proceedings and all that. In today's date, these PG students, PhD scholars, whatever you are going to write in research papers, it is going to be viewed by the entire world. The applications like anti-plagiarism software, would have heard about plagiarism. All guides know. Students also would be knowing it. It shows the data which is copied with the source and its address of that particular source. Okay, and which is as good as offense in today's date. If it is not mentioned properly with proper citation or reference is not mentioned, it may become an offense in legal context. The university like Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, friends, can you imagine how many people have got Nobel Prize for MIT? Can anybody send MIT University? Teachers and students, means professors and students or alumni of MIT have got 70 Nobel Prizes, 70. Can you imagine? And MIT has designed this anti-plagiarism software. Now many softwares like Dustball and all that are available. But the technology is leading in such a way that now there are very few options for not being scholar or not being attentive, not being hardworking. Okay, time has rapidly changed in last couple of years, couple of decades. If you will see last 20-30 years, after the advancement of technology, it is going to be very competitive in coming times. So I hope all of you students will pay attention properly on the power of intellectual properties. Okay, now it works basically for intangible assets like ideas, innovations, inventions. Basically two things. Invention is what? when you are finding out any method, manner, or process for the first time in the history of the world, then it becomes your invention. And if you make any advancement in any existing methodology, then it becomes an innovation. These are the two things you have to understand. But you can work on both innovation as well as invention, especially for patents. Then exclusive rights are provided to the owner of that intellectual property. Legal rights are granted to the owners to control their creations. Now, patents, copyrights, and trademarks. Three things are there. Copyright is what? Copyright is a legal monopolistic right granted to an author of a particular book, poem, any literary work, any music work, any artwork. Now, I'm a lyrics writer basically. I am a member of Screenwriters Association of India. भारतीय गीतकार संघटनेचा मी एक सिनियर मेंबर आहे आता. And I have 52 copyrights in my name for Marathi, Hindi, and Urdu language. Okay. So in initial times, I tried to get copyrights from government of India. ते आपल्याला कुणालाही सहज गत्या मिळू शकतात, काही त्याच्यामध्ये अडचण येत नाही. आय एम गोइंग टू गिव्ह यू द डिटेल्स. मी सगळ्या माझ्याकडे ज्या पॉइंट्स आहेत, मी ते तुमचा व्हॉट्सअप ग्रुप जर केला असेल कोऑर्डिनेटरने, तर सगळ्या प्रोसिजर्स तुम्हाला देणार आहे रायटिंग मध्ये. सो यू कॅन रीड इन युअर फ्री टाइम ऑल्सो वेअर द ऑफिस ऑफ कॉपीराइट authority has been situated, what are the form numbers, what is the fees payable, everything I have mentioned. The way Rinkesh sir has given you on PPT, but I am going to give in physical form. Okay, so you will get it. So there are certain private institutions also which are having registered status. For example, I had given you an example of SWA. So it is giving me copyright on online format. I am getting copyright certificate which is insured with proper watermark as well as digital signature. It has scan code also. So nobody can copy my work, nobody can steal my work, and if it happens, I can go to the court of law. Are you understanding? So for copyrights, authors of the books as well as poets who are writing poetry, then lyricists which are writing who are writing lyrics for any movies, serials, or any kind of lyrics they are writing, and any type of literature, they can get a copyright for that particular work. And it is very essential to protect your work through copyright. जर आपल्याकडे त्याचं कॉपीराइट सर्टिफिकेट नसेल, ओनरशिप नसेल, तर 2च मिनिटात चोरी होते बघा. आता इंटरनेटचं युग इतकं फास्ट आहे की आपण एखादी गोष्ट जरी इंटरनेटवर टाकली तर ती 3ऱ्या मिनिटाला कॉपी झालेली असते. आपली आयडिया अनेक लोक उचलतात आणि त्याच्यातनं ते पेटंट कॉपीराइट घेत असतात. हे भयानक वास्तव मी तुम्हाला सांगतोय. म्हणजे जी मुलांच्या डोक्यामध्ये जे आयडियाज येतात, तर त्या बऱ्याच वेळेला असं नॉर्मली आपण बोलताना कुठेतरी डिस्कस करतो आणि एखादा हुशार माणूस ज्याला नॉलेज आहे सगळ्या प्रोसेसचं, तो त्याचा पेटंट किंवा कॉपीराइट घेऊन मोकळा होतो. इट इज हॅपनिंग. अँड आय मस्ट टेल यू, इट इज व्हेरी इझी. एक 24 तासामध्ये आपल्या मनामध्ये हजारो विचार येतात. लक्षात घ्या, त्या 1000 मधला एक विचार तरी असा असतो की जो काहीतरी जगावेगळा असतो, काहीतरी नाविन्यपूर्ण असतं मित्रांनो. सो यू वर्क ऑन दॅट. व्हॉट न्यू थिंग यू आर गोइंग टू फाइंड आउट. जसं मी सांगितलं, जपान आणि चायनामध्ये 4थी, 5वी, 6वी, 7वीच्या वर्गातले जे प्रोजेक्ट्स आहेत फायनल एक्झामचे, ते जर आपण बघितलं ना, थक्क व्हायला होतं की इतका विचार ते कसं काय करू शकतात. आज तुम्ही इंस्टाग्राम, फेसबुक सारखे ऍप्स उघडले तर त्याच्यावर ऍड्स येतात बघा. म्हणजे रबर मधल्या कितीतरी गोष्टींच्या ऍड येतात. घरामध्ये किचनमध्ये लागणाऱ्या वस्तू किंवा आपल्या अगदी दरवाजाला खालनं एक रबरचं पॅकिंग येतं, त्याचा सुद्धा त्यांनी पेटंट केलेला आहे. अशा शेकडो वस्तूंवर लहान लहान मुलं ती पेटंट घेतात आज US आणि चायना मधले किंवा जपान मधले. तर आपल्याकडे ते कल्चर होणं खूप गरजेचं आहे. लक्षात घ्या, तुम्ही आयडिया डेव्हलप करा, एखाद्या एक्सपर्टशी बोला आणि तुम्ही त्याच्यावर लगेचच काम सुरू करा. तुम्हाला एक मिळाला ना पेटंट किंवा कॉपीराइट किंवा ट्रेडमार्क, तुमचं कॉन्फिडन्स वाढेल. ते आपण करणं खूप गरजेचं आहे. In India, in today's date, there are software companies which are filing highest number of patents. द कंपनी लाईक IBM सॉफ्टवेअर, मोर दॅन 5,000 पेटंट्स लास्ट इयर. तुम्ही गुगलवर चेक करू शकता. More than 5,500 patents last year. IBM software, Accenture, Cognizant, Infosys. So software companies are on top for filing of patents. पण आपल्याकडे ऍग्रिकल्चरल मध्ये भयानक स्कोप आहे. आयुर्वेदामध्ये जबरदस्त स्कोप आहे. आपण अनेक गोष्टी ऐकल्या असतील, जसं हळदीचं पेटंट आदरणीय रघुनाथ माशेलकर सरांनी जे युएसए घेतलेले पेटंट होतं, पण ते WIPO मध्ये जाऊन, वर्ल्ड इंटेलेक्च्युअल प्रॉपर्टी ऑर्गनायझेशन, ही युनायटेड नेशन्स ऑर्गनायझेशन जी आहे, संयुक्त राष्ट्र संघटना, त्या संघटनेची अशी संस्था की ज्याच्या सगळे आता 193 मेंबर कंट्रीज आहेत आता युनोचे. So all 193 member countries are following the treaty. Treaty means common agreement signed by all 193 members. तर त्यामध्ये जर आंतरराष्ट्रीय पातळीवरचा एखादा वाद असेल एखाद्या पेटंट विषयी, तर तिथे तो चेक केला जातो, डिस्कस केला जातो WIPO मध्ये, वर्ल्ड इंटेलेक्च्युअल प्रॉपर्टी ऑर्गनायझेशन, थ्रू युनायटेड नेशन्स ऑर्गनायझेशन, अँड देन दॅट पर्टिक्युलर पेटंट और कॉपीराइट और डिझाईन इज ग्रँटेड आफ्टर हिअरिंग प्रोसेस. ओके, तुम्हाला एक सिंपल एक्झाम्पल सांगतो. व्हाय टू प्रोटेक्ट कॉपीराइट्स, व्हाय? एक लॉर्ड ऑफ द रिंग्स नावाचा मूवी होता, लॉर्ड ऑफ द रिंग्स, आणि त्या मूवीचा हिरो फ्रेडरिक वगैरे नाव होतं त्याचं, मला नाव एक्झॅक्टली आठवत नाही. तो मुंबईमध्ये आलेला आणि ताज हॉटेलमध्ये स्टे करत होता. तो काही कारणाने आला असेल. हॉलिवूडमध्ये हिट मूवी चालू होती, म्हणजे कमीत कमी $20-30 $40 तरी त्याचं तिकीट चालू होतं लॉर्ड ऑफ द रिंग्स मूवीचं. आणि तो सकाळी मॉर्निंग वॉकला निघाला फिरायला, आणि येताना मग त्यांनी बघितलं की एक माणूस ते सीड्या विकत बसलं. तेव्हा सीडीज होत्या, कॉम्पॅक्ट डिस्क, त्या गोल सीडीज यायच्या बघा, पेन ड्राईव्हचं हे यायच्या आधी. तो खूप अशी सीडीज त्याने अंथरून आपला बसलेला होता. तो म्हणलं व्हॉट इज दिस? दीज आर मूवीज. मग त्यांनी मूवीज म्हटल्यावर जरा चाळायला लागला, तर त्याला लॉर्ड ऑफ रिंग्सच्या सीडीज मिळाल्या त्याच्यात. तर व्हॉट इज इट्स कॉस्ट? तो ₹50. तो म्हणला अरे $40 मी तिकीट विकतोय तिकडे, हे $अर्ध्या मध्ये कार्यक्रम चालू आहे, अख्खी फॅमिली बघते, हाऊ इज इट पॉसिबल? इट इज पायरेसी. तर पायरेसी हा प्रकार इतका भयानक आहे. आज आपल्याकडची फिल्म इंडस्ट्री सुद्धा खूप गाळ्यात गेली तसं पाहिलं तर. ठराविकच मूवीज चालतात, पण बाकीचे बिचारे खूप आपटतात. कारण पहिला शो सुरू झाला की एखादा हुशार ऍपलच्या मोबाईल मधून असं स्टँड लावून शूट करून घेतो. आणि असे कित्येक वेबसाईट्स आहेत की ज्याच्यावर तुम्हाला फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट पाहिजे तो पिक्चर तिथे तुम्हाला डाउनलोड करता येतो. दिस इज कॉल्ड एज पायरेसी. ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टी होतात. तो कोर्टात गेला, WIPO मध्ये त्यांनी केस टाकून दिली, म्हणजे हे इंडियन्स मला मूवी कॉपी करून विकतातच म्हणले ₹50. खूप म्हणजे त्याच्यावर वादन झालं होतं त्यावेळेला. असे अनेक मूवीज होते, पण त्याला दिसलं ते चुकून आला म्हणून. नाही तर असे अनेक कॉपी केले, अनेक विकले, अनेक मजा करून बसली इंडियन लोक. आलं का लक्षात? त्याच्यामुळे येणाऱ्या काळामध्ये हे चालणार नाही. आता त्याच्या संदर्भातले जे कायदे हे आता खूप स्ट्रिक्ट झालेले आहेत. पूर्वीचा काळ गेला. आता आपल्याला स्पर्धेत टिकायचं असेल तुमच्या मधल्या प्रत्येकाला, म्हणजे जेवढे ऍटलिस्ट स्टुडंट्स किंवा न्यू टीचर्स आहेत, त्यांना माझा कळकळून आग्रह आहे की तुम्ही पेटंट्स, कॉपीराइट्स ह्या सगळ्यावर काम करा. इव्हन आता आम्हाला टीचर्सला जे प्रमोशन मिळत आहेत ते केअर लिस्टेड जर्नल आहे का, ते स्कोपस मध्ये आहे का, ते वेब ऑफ सायन्स मध्ये आहे का? आहे म्हटलं तर एक्सपर्ट विल से शो मी ऑन इंटरनेट वेअर युअर पेपर इज रिफ्लेक्टेड, शो मी दॅट वेबसाईट. He will go to Care 1, Care 2, and he will ask. And if he is dissatisfied, if no paper is there, he will reject straight away and salary can be reduced. The opportunity for promotion can be reduced if it is not up to the mark. So upcoming teachers, professors, PG students, PhD scholars, it is my humble request to all of you to work with the time. You have to understand this time demands. Next. The importance of intellectual properties that we discussed, prevention of piracy, establish brand equity. Basically, brand equity, for brand equity, trademarks and designs works a lot. जसं आपण एक टी पाहिला, नुसतं टी, तो टी म्हणजे टाटा, टी फॉर टाटा. So only that logo describes the product of the company. Now what is its benefit? त्या टीचं काय बेनिफिट येतात टाटांना? तो नुसता टी लावून टाटांनी सुईपासून पेनाच्या नीप पासून तर एखाद्या मोठ्या ट्रक पर्यंत प्रत्येक वस्तू बनवली त्याच्यावर टी लावलाय. आपलं टाटा सॉल्ट, बरोबर. टाटा प्रत्येक गोष्ट बघा तुम्ही, आपल्या किचन मधली बघा, इंडस्ट्रीतली बघा, घरातली, तिथे टाटाचा ब्रँड नाही असं नाहीये. So this is an impact of trademark which they have developed and secure market share. The big group of companies like Reliance, Birla, Tata, many in different sectors, different companies are playing in Indian market, but they are getting proper market share ensured through this intellectual property rights. एखाद्या कंपनीचा नफा हजारो कोटी चाललाय, मग आता आपण रिलॅक्स राहू असं ती करत नाहीत. I told you, if you'll see the data of software companies, 5,000, 6,000, 4,000 patents every year they are filing. The salary promotions are based on the patents filed at particular employee. पॅकेज वाढवून पाहिजे ना, चला 10 पेटंट फाईल कर, सर्टिफिकेट घेऊन ये, you will get increased salary. So there is direct relationship between intellectual property movement, achievements of that particular employee and his salary package. आता असं होत नाही, हा माझ्या ओळखीचा आहे मला द्या वाढवून, तसं होणार नाही इथून पुढच्या काळात. ओके, द नेक्स्ट इज नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. Copyright basics. As I told, literary works, any literature, any book, reference book, any newspaper article, any lyrics you are writing, it comes under literary works. Okay, then music compositions, I told you that whatever lyrics you are writing for music or music tunes, even music tunes, background music for movies, okay, that is also secured through proper copyrights. Okay, then artistic works, so paintings and sculptures, that can also be protected through copyrights, even painting done by somebody. Okay, the next is trademarks. The brand recognition is ensured through logos, names, and slogans. Now, slogans are also very important to define that particular product. For example, I will say one example and you have to tell me the name of the product. दिमाग की बत्ती जला दे, Mentos. Correct? This is power of Mentos. This is power of slogan. Is that clear? म्हणजे आपण तो प्रॉडक्ट आयुष्यात विसरू शकत नाही, जी लाईन आपल्या डोक्यात बसली ती. तर दिमाग की बत्ती जला दे, this is a slogan for Mentos company, and so we are remembering that Mentos. And it has psychological impact also. If you see Mentos in dabba, so we will directly buy it. दे रे बाबा 1-2 रुपये. That is our psychology because we have heard it numerous times. So it works for profits of the company. Then distinctive marks prevent confusion with other brands. So trademarks are always distinguished from other companies' designs. They are not replica. Then legal protection, exclusive right is provided to that particular trademark owner. If somebody infringes, infringement is what? एखाद्याने गैरवापर केला आपल्या ओनरशिप मधल्या एखाद्या ट्रेडमार्कचा, तर आपण कोर्टात जाऊ शकतो. अगेन्स्ट दॅट इन्फ्रिंजमेंट लीगल ऍक्शन कॅन बी टेकन. द next is design. See, industrial designs, utility models, and copyright for design. These are the 3 steps I have given. In industrial design, engineering industries usually requires industrial designs patents. Okay, machine parts or spare parts of some machineries that are registered under industrial designs. Patterns are also there. That also small models of particular parts of any big product. Then copyright for design, protection for artistic aspects. So protection is through registration only. Okay, we have to register that particular design, we have to provide its model, and once it is granted, then nobody shall copy it, nobody shall reproduce it, manufacture it without your consent. Is that clear? Then registering copyrights, trademarks, and design, as I told. Next slide. सो आय एम गोइंग टू गिव्ह यू द फुल प्रोसिजर ऑलमोस्ट वन अँड द सेम आहे सगळ्यांसाठी. फीज काही फार नाही आहे त्याच्यासाठी. कॉपीराईटची फी जर तुम्ही पाहिली ना तर 450 ते 1000 रुपये एवढी फी असते. फी जास्त नाहीये. 450 रुपयात आपलं वर्क आपण कॉपीराईट रजिस्टर करू शकतो. ओनली थिंग इज दॅट वी शॅल गेट प्रॉपर चॅनेल, द प्रोसेस फॉर इट, अँड वन्स वी स्टार्ट देन you need not require to consult anybody, you need not require to get anybody. Means when I filed my one copyright for the first time, I met with 10 people, 10 experts. But now I am doing on my own online. Okay, whenever I write something, in next 5 to 10 minutes I get my copyright on online basis because I have got it through practice. Then international IP protection is also given. International is what? आंतरराष्ट्रीय पातळीवर जर आपण केलेलं काम प्रोटेक्ट करायचं असेल, फॉर एक्झाम्पल इंडियात त्याच्यावर काम चालू आहे, आपण आपली कंपनी चालू आहे, पण इफ सेम वर्क वी हॅव टू डू इन अदर कंट्रीज लाईक ब्राझील, USA, UK, then there are some conventions. There is one Hague Agreement and second is Madrid system. Madrid is a city in Spain. तिथे कॉन्फरन्स झाली होती ज्याच्यामध्ये ऑल इंटरनॅशनल all UNO members, 193 countries which are members of United Nations organization, they agreed together that we will help each other. Means if work is registered in one country, other member countries can approve it. मग त्याला 4 देशांमध्ये पुन्हा पुन्हा ते वर्क रजिस्टर करायची गरज नाही. दॅट इज इंटरनॅशनल ट्रीटी. सो इंटरनॅशनल IP protection can also be ensured through this process. Okay. If any questions are there, you can ask me. Any questions, any doubts? Any questions, any doubts? त्याचे ऑनलाईन आहेत सगळे. म्हणजे आता मगाशी रिंकेश सरांनी जे सांगितलं ना, मुंबई, दिल्ली, कोलकाता आणि चेन्नई अशा ठिकाणी ऑफिसेस आहेत. तर कॉपीराईटचं द्वारका एरियामध्ये न्यू दिल्लीला, तर त्यांच्या वेबसाईटला जरी आपण गेलो ना तर आपल्याला ऑनलाईन फॉर्म आहे, फॉर्म TMA वगैरे, तर तो डाउनलोड करून त्याच्यात माहिती भरून आपण ऑनलाईन पण सबमिशन करू शकतो. म्हणजे यू नीड नॉट व्हिजिट कॉपीराईट ऑफिस ऑर डिझाईन ऑफिस. ओके. डिझाईन ऍक्ट 2000 हॅज बीन पास बाय द पार्लमेंट ऑफ इंडिया. तर त्याच्या अंडर सगळ्या ह्या प्रोव्हिजन्स आहेत. ऑनलाईन आपलं वर्क आपण रजिस्टर करू शकतो. असं आहे. फक्त ते कमर्शियल यूज करायचं असेल ना मग आपण ते लेवलला करायचं. अदरवाईज इन आवर ओन इंटरेस्ट असेल तर मग SWA किंवा ज्या ज्या आपल्या रिलेटेड ज्या संस्था आहेत ज्यांना रजिस्टर्ड स्टेटस आहे, दे कॅन ऑल्सो प्रोव्हाइड अस कॉपीराईट अँड दॅट इज ऑल्सो व्हॅलिड. असं आहे. एनी मोर क्वेश्चन्स? सो लास्टली आय वॉन्ट दॅट देअर शुड बी अ कल्चर. ही आता आपली संस्कृती झाली पाहिजे. पेटंट आणि कॉपीराईट, जसं कंपन्या आता दबाव टाकतात येते एम्प्लॉईजवर की तुमचा पगार वाढणार नाही जर तुमच्याकडे कॉपीराईट पेटंट्स नसतील. मग ते अभ्यास करतात, रिसर्च करत राहतात, फायलिंग करत राहतात आणि ते यशस्वी होतात. त्याच्यामुळे आपण सुद्धा ते आता करणं गरजेचं आहे. इट इज कंपल्सरी. विदिन 1 year ऍटलीस्ट 1 पेटंट वी हॅव टू फाईल बाय each person, each professor, each PG student under the guidance of project guide. This is important. Unless and until we do that, we cannot be competitive in international market. This I want to say. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an enlightening session. Sir, you kept your word. You acted like, आपने सबके दिमाग की बत्ती चला दी. I have one question, sir. Excuse me, sir. A question. So, I have one question. I thought that you're going to continue, so I didn't ask. The question is, you have seen so many, we have reference book, right? So those reference books are, photocopied.
Yes.
And sold near the shops in university.
Yes.
Then where does the copyright stands over here? Because
See, for books, now professors, we are read. Somebody told ki I have written 51 books. It is actually on paper. I am not copyright owner. Copyright owner is always publisher. त्या आपल्याला 5-10 हजार काय मानधन असेल ते देतात They are not going to share their copyright with us. Nirali is there, Nirali Prakashan, Success Publication, Tata McGraw-Hill, even Go Pearsman. Everywhere you go, publisher keeps that copyright with himself, and whenever he want, he use that material through various editions as well as different types of books.
Yeah, but what about the books which are being photocopied, Xerox?
There is a criminal offense.
Yeah, but they are sold
Last
open.
2 months before, I will give an example. My college is in Pimpri area. There was a complaint from one bookstall seller. Okay, one bookstall filed a complaint with police that photocopy is going on. The book which I am selling in 100 rupees, students are getting in 70 rupees with Xerox. So all Xerox centers machines were sealed. This is event before incident before 2 months back. Before Diwali it was there. म्हणजे एका बुक स्टॉल सेलरनी कंप्लेंट केली की 100-120 रुपयाला मी पुस्तक विकतोय आणि हे झेरॉक्स वाले ओळीने ती पुस्तकं छापून झेरॉक्स फॉर्मॅटमध्ये 70-70 रुपयाला विकतायत. अँड दिस इज रिडिक्युलस दॅट स्टुडंटची पण ही मानसिकता असते आपल्या देशामध्ये. तो त्याला काही पर्यायच नाही हो. आपल्या संस्कृतीमध्ये मग हे थोडेसे लूप होल्स आहेतच, ते आपल्याला मान्य करावं लागतील. आपला विद्यार्थी काय म्हणतो, मिळतंय ना 70 रुपयात, कशाला देऊ मी तुला 120 आणि इकडं. तो हे नाही विचार करत की ह्या प्राध्यापकाने किती रात्रंदिवस कष्ट करून पुस्तक लिहिली, त्याला 30 रुपये मिळतील, त्याला घेण देण नाही, तो मध्ये 70 आहे ना आणि इकडं. दिस समवेअर यू हॅव टू चेंज दिस. आपली संस्कृतीच त्यासाठी बदलली पाहिजे, पण त्याच्यावर कारवाई आहे निश्चित.
ओके.
त्याच्यावर सगळे झेरॉक्स मशीन सील झाले होते. पिंपरीच्या आयुक्ताला पडले होते बरेच दिवस. ते कोर्टात पण गेली ती केस सगळी.
ओके, थँक्यू सो मच सर. Any other question to anyone?
याच्याविषयीच मला एक थोडंसं बोलायचं आहे. सेमी लायब्ररी असल्यामुळे या संदर्भात थोडासा माझा कन्सर्न असतो. दिल्ली युनिव्हर्सिटीमध्ये काही बुक्स जे आहेत 1000, 2000, 3000 रुपये किमतीची पुस्तक झेरॉक्स थ्रू विद्यार्थ्याला दिली जात होती आणि त्यानंतर ते मॅग्रॉ हिल्स वगैरे बाहेरची होती, त्यांनी कंप्लेंट फाईल केलेली होती. परंतु हायकोर्टाने सुप्रीम कोर्टातनं निर्णय असा दिलाय की तुम्ही अकॅडमिक जर ते पुस्तक त्याच्या झेरॉक्स कॉपी वापरत असेल तर तुम्हाला तो क्लेम लागू होत नाहीये. जर त्याचा तुम्ही आर्थिक फायदा घेत असेल तर त्या ठिकाणी रिसर्च आणि अकॅडमिक साठी कोणतंही तुमचं पेटंट असेल, बाकीच्यांचं किंवा त्यांची रिसर्च असेल, ते तुमच्या रिसर्च साठी किंवा तुमच्या अकॅडमिक यूज साठी ते वापरू शकता. परंतु त्याच्यातून जर तुम्ही काय फायदा घेणार असाल त्या ठिकाणी तो वापरू शकतो. थँक्यू.
करेक्ट. आता प्रायव्हेट झेरॉक्स सेंटरनी काढलेला हे 100% नफेखोरीच होती ती. त्याच्यामुळे त्याच्यावर कारवाई झालेली. युनिव्हर्सिटी कॅम्पसमध्ये किंवा कॉलेज कॅम्पसच्या आत जर तुम्ही झेरॉक्स करत असाल आणि कॉलेजच्या गेटच्या बाहेर ते जात नसेल, फक्त लायब्ररी युसेससाठी असेल तर तुम्ही करू शकता. दॅट इज राईट. आता तुम्ही जर बघितलं ऍपल आणि सॅमसंगची जी केस आहे, तुम्ही गुगलवर टाकून बघा किती करोड डॉलर्स मोजावे लागले सॅमसंगला. जे आपण अँड्रॉइड ऍप्लिकेशन सॅमसंग, आता माझ्या हातात सॅमसंगचाच मोबाईल आहे, तर ऍपलने बनवलेलं अँड्रॉइड ऍप्लिकेशन होतं आणि सॅमसंगनी ते चोरलंच थोडक्यात म्हणायचं, कारण ऍपलनी तसं म्हटलं होतं कोर्टात, मी नाही म्हणत. हा, तर मग सॅमसंगचा सेल इतका वाढला की ऍपलने कोर्टात गेल्यानंतर 2-3 वर्ष ती WIPO मध्ये केस चालू होती. ऍपलच्या बाजूने तो निकाल लागला आणि त्यांना पैसे मोजावे लागले सॅमसंगला. तुम्ही बघा, म्हणजे त्याच्यावर कायदेशीर कारवाई ही निश्चित आहे. फक्त ती कारवाई करणारा पाहिजे, आपल्याला तेवढं नॉलेज पाहिजे.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we'll head for the valedictory function. We have with us Chief Guest Honorable Dr. Kishore Nikam, sir. For this function, we have Chairperson Honorable Professor Dr. Panurang Bhosle with us. I request sir to deliver his speech. Okay. Before that, we'll just begin with the participant. Report. Yeah. I request Professor Dr. Sangeeta Aivale ma'am to present a brief report on today's workshop.
Good evening, one and all. Respected dignitaries on the dais. I, Professor Dr. Sangeeta Aivale, Mahatma Phule Mahavidyalaya, Pimpri, have been appointed today as rapporteur to report on the outcome of today's state level workshop entitled Intellectual Property Rights, a Gateway to Innovation and Growth. Today, a state level workshop started with an inaugural ceremony, and this inaugural ceremony commenced with the lighting the lamp by a group of dignitaries from various renowned fields. The inaugural event was graced by Advocate Ganesh Hingmire sir, who is a founder and chairman at GMGC Info World Pune, Dr. Rinkesh Kurkure, Chief Technology Officer and co-founder, Aerospace Private Limited, Mumbai, Dr. Kantilal Nagre, Coordinator, Patent Cell, BK Birla College, Mumbai, Principal Dr. Arun Andale sir, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Mahavidyalay, Aun Pune, Principal Dr. Panduranga Bhosle sir, Mahatma Phule Mahavidyalay, Pimpri, Pune. The workshop on intellectual property right, a gateway to innovation and growth, brought together industry leader, legal experts, and academicians to explore the critical role of intellectual property rights in fostering innovation and driving economic growth. The event provided a platform for insightful discussion on leveraging IPR as a catalyst for progress across industries and economics. The workshop underscored the growing importance of robust IPR framework in today's global economy. In the keynote address, keynote speaker Advocate Ganesh Hingmire emphasized on how patents, trademark, copyrights, and trade secrets serve as essential tools to protect, incentivize creativity, innovation, and investment. He specifically emphasized mainly on filing IPR for cultural heritage of India. He is a key person for protecting thousands of historical, cultural, and traditional products of India. He explained in detail various contributions of IPR in economy, IP valuation and its important methods of IP valuation, etc. The take-home message from his keynote address is IPR awareness is very important for masses in India. In today's Indian scenario, IPR documentation of cultural and traditional heritage of India for emotional and professional purposes. The workshop included several sessions with various sub-themes, like in session 1, the sub-theme was understanding patent needs and laws for protecting innovations. In session 2, the sub-theme was step-by-step guide to drafting and filing patents. And in session 3, protecting creativity and identity, copyright, designs, and trademark. In the first session, Dr. Kantilal Nagre emphasized on understanding patent needs and laws for protecting innovations. He explained how to draft a patent, process patent, design patent, Patent Act 1997, how to apply for patent protection, and steps involved in the processing of inwards. In the second session, Mr. Rinkesh Kurkure guided us about step-by-step drafting and filing patents. He revealed various benefits of patents to students, professors, and to the institutions. He made us to think on how to save intellectual property legally. In the third session, Professor Dr. Kishore Nikam sir enlightened us on protecting creativity and identity, copyright, design, and trademark. He made us to realize why we should protect the copyrights. He explained the threats of piracy. He also explained about the brand identity need of trademarks, distinctive trademarks, and finally about legal protection for the trademark. He also explained the procedure for registering the application for copyrights, trademarks, and designs. The expert recommended various methods of simplification of IPR process, mechanism of strengthening IPR enforcement mechanism, and promotion of public awareness education about IPR. Intellectual property right is a critical incentive for innovation and creativity. When IP is strategically deployed, can drive progress towards the fulfillment of almost all the sustainable development goals. All IP tools provide incentives for ongoing investment into new solutions for the global challenges. Today's one-day state-level workshop on intellectual property right, a gateway to innovations and growth, was a small step by the two institutions of Rai Shikshan Samsthas, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Mahavidyalay, Aun Pune, and Mahatma Phule Mahavidyalay, Pimpri, towards the fulfillment of the important goals like no hunger, no poverty, health, education, etc. This workshop outlined several actionable strategies to enhance the effectiveness of intellectual property right tools and their contribution to innovation-driven growth. Innovation-driven growth will lead to the partial fulfillment of sustainable development that will lead to the sustainable future. The take-home message from this workshop is to be IPR literate, aware about IPR among the masses in the colleges, inculcate IPR culture among ourselves. Thank you.
Feedback is important as a help to learn and grow. Now it's time for participants' feedback. First, Tushar Nagdive, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar College, Aun, Pune.
नमस्कार, माझं नाव तुषार नागदेवे. मी या महाविद्यालयामध्ये एम.कॉम सेकंड इयरचा विद्यार्थी आहे. मी 11वीत असल्यापासून या कॉलेजला आहे. 5 वर्ष झाले. 7वं वर्ष चालू आहे मला आता हे. तर या महाविद्यालयामध्ये 3रे प्राचार्य मी बघतोय. तर या 2-3 वर्षामध्ये एवढे चेंजेस झालेले आहे की वर्तमान स्थितीला जाणून भविष्याचा वेध घेत कोणत्या गोष्टी विद्यार्थ्यांसाठी आवश्यक आहे, कोणत्या गोष्टी आवश्यक आहे आणि त्याच्यामध्ये त्या गोष्टी लक्षात घेता प्रत्येक क्षेत्रातले प्रावीण्य असणारे व्यक्तिमत्व ते शोधून आणतात. असे आमचे प्राचार्य अरुण आंधळे सर यांना मी पहिले धन्यवाद मानतो त्यांचे. आणि प्रत्येक विद्यार्थ्यांच्या नाविन्यपूर्ण गोष्टीला मदत करणारे आमचे कुशल सर, बद्रीनाथ सर आणि खूप सारे आमचे जे शिक्षक आहेत, कोणालाही विचारलं तरी मदत करणारे आणि असे आमचे शिक्षक सगळे सहाय्यक असणारे आणि आम्हाला आज लाभलेले उत्कृष्ट असे मार्गदर्शक आज. आणि जे 3 सेशन झाले तर त्यामध्ये कांतीलाल सर, डॉक्टर रिंकेश सर आणि डॉक्टर किशोर सर. तर 2 ते 3 महिन्याचा आपला रिसर्च जर इनोव्हेशनच्या रिलेटेड जर आपण केला असता तर 2 ते 3 महिने गेले असते आपल्याला ही इन्फॉर्मेशन कलेक्ट करायला. तर अगदी 4 ते 5 तासामध्ये आपले 3 महिन्यांची बचत केल्याबद्दल आभार. तुमच्या मनापासून आभार. नेमकं प्रश्न शोधता शोधता आपण हे विसरलो असतो की इनोव्हेशन पण करायचे. नेमकं आपण हे लॉ, डाटा, रिसर्च जेवढा आपल्याला शिकायला मिळाला या 2-3, 4-5 तासामध्ये, तर नेमकं प्रोत्साहन देण्यासाठी त्यांनी जे आपल्याला एफर्ट घेतले, आम्ही नक्कीच त्याचा लाभ घेऊ आणि चांगल्यात चांगले आम्ही इनोव्हेशन शोधू आणि नक्कीच तुमच्या या प्रयत्नांचा आम्ही फळ देण्याचा प्रयत्न करू आणि खूप खूप आभार.
मी सर्वच सांगतोय, हा तुषार नागदेव आमचा BM.Com सेकंड इयरचा विद्यार्थी आहे आणि त्यानं एक पेटंट केलेला आहे. मी विनंती करतो की निकम सरांनी त्याचं स्वागत करावं. आणि 2 पेटंट आहेत.
नेक्स्ट.
आणि हे जे मी वेळ नाही घेणार, मी म्हणजे मला माहिती आहे तुमच्या चेहऱ्याकडे बघून की ऐकण्याची क्षमता पण पेटेंट हा शब्द जेव्हा मला आठवतो की पेटेंट म्हणजे काय, तर कुशल सरांचं नाव मला येतं. कारण की हे जे शिक्षक मंडळी आपले आहेत की प्रोत्साहन देण्याचं काम जर कोणी केलं असेल की पेटेंट शब्द जेव्हा पण माझ्या डोक्यात येते तो कुशल सरांमुळे येतो. मी खूप खूप त्यांचा आभारी आहे. आणि असे जे प्रोग्राम आहेत ते आमच्या कॉलेजमध्ये नेहमी होतात. तर हा जो कंटेंट आहे मी दरवर्षीच ऐकतो, पण याला एक्सप्लेन करणारे आणि तळमळून आपल्यासाठी काहीतरी करणारे जे व्यक्तिमत्व लाभल्यास हे अमूल्य आहे. असंच आमच्या कॉलेजला येत चला आणि आमच्या ज्ञानामध्ये भर देत चला. खूप खूप आभार.
थँक्यू. नेक्स्ट स्टुडंट मंदाकिनी सरवडे, महात्मा फुले महाविद्यालय, पिंपरी, पुणे.
कुशल, माझी वेबसाईट आहे डॉक्टर किशोर निकम लेक्चर्स. तुला युट्यूबला तुम्हाला बघता येईल जे कॉमर्सचे असतील हा तुषार त्या युट्यूबला आहेत. डॉक्टर किशोर निकम लेक्चर्स टाकलं काही येतं.
सन्माननीय व्यासपीठावरील उपस्थित मान्यवर तसेच आजच्या कार्यक्रमाला लाभलेले प्रमुख पाहुणे आणि आजचे इथे उपस्थित प्राध्यापक वर्ग, सर्वांना माझा नमस्कार. मी मंदाकिनी विशाल सरवदे, रयत शिक्षण संस्थेचे महात्मा फुले महाविद्यालय येथील MSc मायक्रोबायोलॉजीची विद्यार्थिनी असून आज या ठिकाणी म्हणजे हे काय तीन चार सेशन्समध्ये जी माहिती मिळाली आहे, ऍक्च्युली याआधी जेव्हा मी वेगवेगळे रिसर्च पेपर्स वाचायचे त्यावेळी ही कुठेतरी IPR चा भाग असू शकतो, लिटरेचर स्टडी सुद्धा, ही मला आजच्या सेशन नंतर माहिती मिळाली. त्यानंतर इंटेलेक्च्युअल प्रॉपर्टी राईट्स म्हणजे आजच्या सेशन नंतर तरी की पेटंट्स कसे फाईल करू शकतो आपण, आपलं इनोव्हेशन एका सकारात्मक दिशेने आपण कसं नेऊ शकतो, ही माहिती आज या व्यासपीठावरून उपलब्ध झाली. तसेच ॲज अ पार्टिसिपंट फीडबॅक म्हणून आम्हालाही आमची मतं मांडण्याचं इथे संधी दिल्याबद्दलही मी आजच्या या मंचाचे आभार मानते. आणि पहिलं जे सेशन झालं ते म्हणजे श्री गणेश हिंगमिरे सरांचं. तर खरं सांगते, मला इथे येण्याआधी त्या सरांबद्दल काहीच माहिती नव्हती. पण ज्यावेळी इथे आल्यानंतर श्री गणेश हिंगमिरे सरांची माहिती ऐकल्यानंतर, त्यानंतर नागरे सर, त्यानंतर रिंकेश कुरकुरे सर आणि आता डॉक्टर निकम सर, तर यांनी या व्यक्तींकडून, या प्रतिष्ठित व्यक्तींकडून जी काही माहिती मिळाली, तर याचा जास्तीत जास्त मला माझ्या रिसर्चमध्ये तरी कसा वापर करून घेता येईल या माहितीचा, इथून पुढे तर हाच माझा प्रयत्न असेल. तसेच संपूर्ण माझ्या विद्यार्थी मित्रांकडून, आम्हा सर्वांकडून मी आपले आभार मानते. खरंच ही खूप माहिती देणारं असं सेशन होतं हे, आणि आजचा हा दिवस संपूर्ण अर्थाने सार्थकी लागला हे तरी इथून जाता जाता मी सांगू इच्छिते. आणि तुम्हा सर्वांचे पुन्हा एकदा आभार मानते. धन्यवाद. जय हिंद, जय महाराष्ट्र. जेवण खूप छान होतं सगळं.
Thank you, sir. I request Dr. Kushal Pakle, sir, to express his views and share his experience.
थँक्यू मॅडम. सकाळी मी एक ब्रीज वाक्य सांगितलं होतं, मिनिमम फॉर्मॅलिटी मॅक्झिमम कंटेंट डिलिव्हरी. आय थिंक ते अचीव्ह झालेलं आहे. झालंय की नाही? हो, थँक्यू. यासाठी पिंपरी कॉलेजचे मान्य प्राचार्य प्रिन्सिपल डॉक्टर पांडुरंग भोसले सर आणि त्यांचे फॅकल्टी मेंबर, सर्व टीम, त्यांचा स्टाफ, सर्वांनी खूप मोठ्या प्रमाणात सहकार्य केलं, त्याच्यामुळे ते शक्य झालं. उपप्राचार्य सर्व केकाने सर, काम्याने मॅडम, दहाळे सर, त्यानंतर सुर्वे नाही, आईवळे मॅडम, ऐके सर, नंतर सर्वांचे खूप आभार मी महाविद्यालयातर्फे मानतो. आणि बाकी पुढील सर्व विद्यार्थ्यांचे देखील खूप खूप आभार पिंपरी कॉलेजमधून ज्यांनी आज आमच्याकडे येऊन हे छानसं वर्कशॉप ऐकलं त्याबद्दल.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I request to chairperson of this session, Dr. Panduranga Bhosle, sir, to deliver your speech.
शेवटच्या आधारासहितचे 5 मिनिट आहेत. पद्मभूषण डॉक्टर कर्मवीर भाऊराव पाटील, पद्मभूषण डॉक्टर कर्मवीर भाऊराव पाटील, डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर यांना विनम्र अभिवादन करतो. जीवनामध्ये अनेक प्रकारचे खरं तर व्याख्यानं ऐकलीत, अनेक प्रकारचे वर्कशॉप झाले, सेमिनार्स झाले, पण का कुणास ठाऊक मला आजचं जे आहे खऱ्या अर्थानं बौद्धिक अशा स्वरूपाची ही व्याख्यानं झाली. आणि जे आपल्या चेहऱ्यावरती सकाळी 11:05 पासून आता संध्याकाळचे 4:55 झालेली आहेत, या काळामध्ये कुठेही चेहऱ्यावरती कुठेतरी फार उशीर होतोय असं जाणवत नाही. मित्रांनो, माझी खरं तर या निमित्तानं विनंती असेल की आपले इथला महाविद्यालयातला स्टाफ असो किंवा पिंपरी महाविद्यालयातला स्टाफ असेल, नागरे सरांचे 29 पेटंट मंजूर झालेले आहेत आणि बाकीचे चालू आहेत. आपण किमान दोन्ही शाखातले धरले तरी सुद्धा कमीत कमी 80 जण आपण आहोत. मी मिनिमम धरलेत तर कमीत कमी नागरे सरांच्या बरोबर 29 पेटंट तरी आपली येणाऱ्या वर्षामध्ये तरी सबमिट व्हावी, त्या स्वरूपाची माझी अपेक्षा आहे. आणि त्याला आपल्या सर्वांच्याकडून सहकार्य मिळेल असं मला वाटतं, कारण सगळं आमच्याकडे
गणेश भांगरे सर, खेडकर मॅडम, त्याच्यानंतर मला वाटतं बिराजदार सर, लोटे सर यांची पेटंट प्रोसेसमध्ये आहेत, त्यांची पत्र आलेली आहेत आणि त्याची सुरुवात झालेली आहे आदरणीय प्राचार्य सरोदे साहेबांच्याकडून. त्यांनी स्टापलरचं एक पेटंट त्यांना मिळालेलं आहे आणि तिथून पुढे या ठिकाणी गेल्या वर्षभरातली ही चांगली प्रगती आहे असं मला वाटतं. आपण या सर्वांच्या मधून काही ना काहीतरी घेतलं पाहिजे आणि किमान 29 पेटंट म्हणतोय मी, नागरे सरांचं पेटंट मंजूर झालेलं आहे, तेवढे पेटंट मंजूर झाले पाहिजेत. कारण हिंगरे सरांचा या ठिकाणी असणारा प्रचंड अनुभव असेल, नागरे सरांचा अनुभव असेल आणि बहुतांशी तरुण पिढी माझ्या समोर आहे. यात संपूर्ण तरुणांचे प्रतिनिधी म्हणून जे काही कुरकुरे सर असतील किंवा वयाच्या 40च्या आसपास, 40-45च्या आसपास एखादा तरुण, एखादा प्राध्यापक काय करू शकतो याचं ज्वलंत उदाहरण निकम सरांच्या निमित्तानं आपल्या समोर आहे. मित्रांनो, आम्ही माणसं तुमच्या समोर यासाठी सातत्याने उभी करतो की तुमच्या म्हणजे माझ्यातलाच म्हणजे इतरांचा बाहेरून टाटा बिर्लाचा मुलगा जर मोठा झाला तर फारसा फरक पडणार नाही, तर तुमच्या आमच्या सर्वसामान्य स्तरामधला एखादा तरुण ज्यावेळेला पुढे येतो त्यावेळेला तो तुमच्या आमच्या दृष्टीनं खरं तर आधार असतो, आपल्या समोर आदर्श असतो. आणि म्हणून आपण खरं तर निकम सरांसारखी माणसं असोत, कुरकुरे सरांसारखी माणसं असोत आणि आपले मार्गदर्शक म्हणून हिंगरे साहेब असोत किंवा नागरे सर असोत आणि अशा सारख्या माणसांची भेट घालून देणारे आमचे आदरणीय आंध्रे साहेब यांना मनापासून मी धन्यवाद देतो. आणि सर जीवनभरामध्ये अनेक सेमिनार्स केले की काही व्यासपीठी भाषा म्हणून नाही, खरोखरच अशाच आजची जी काही व्याख्यानं आहेत, आजचे जे मार्गदर्शन आहे ते तुम्हा मला जीवनात किमान काहीतरी दिशा देणारा निश्चितपणानं आहे आणि त्याची दिशा तुम्ही या ठिकाणी स्वीकारावी असं मला वाटतं. त्यातून काहीतरी आउटपुट आम्हाला द्यावं असं मला वाटतं. आणि म्हणून आम्ही सातत्याने आंध्रे साहेबांचा असो किंवा माझा असेल, नवनवीन मोठी कामं केलेली माणसं तुमच्या समोर सर्वसामान्य स्तरामधली आम्ही यासाठी आणतो की या ठिकाणी उच्च स्तरामधली असणारी माणसं आणली तर त्यांना काही त्याचं स्वरूप नसतं. कारण मुंबईसारख्या महानगरामध्ये 10व्या मजल्यावरती तिथं बसून झोपडपट्टीचं चित्रण करणारा लेखक आणि प्रत्येक झोपडीमध्ये जीवन काढणारा आयुष्यपोथीची उलटली 37 पाने अजून काही पाहिलंच नाही म्हणणारा नारायण सुर्वे हे मला इथं महत्वाचे वाटतात. कारण सर्वसामान्य स्तरामधून आलेली माणसं तुम्हाला खरं तर ती माझं आहे, माझं जगणं आहे, मी त्यातून उभा राहू शकतो असं वाटतं. आणि म्हणून मला खरं तर या निमित्तानं आंध्रे साहेबांना मनापासून मी धन्यवाद देतो, माझ्या सर्व टीमला मी धन्यवाद देतो, इथं आलेल्या सर्व एक्सपर्टना मनापासून धन्यवाद देतो. खरोखरच मला खरं तर कामाला कदाचित माझं चुकतं मला माहिती नाही, पण खरोखर मनस्वी समाधानी आहे मी. आणि आपण किमान 29 पेटंटचा माझा मी तिसऱ्या वेळा उल्लेख करतो. 29 पेटंट आनंद महाविद्यालय आणि पिंपरी महाविद्यालय यांच्या वतीनं आपण ग्वाही त्याची द्यावी की आम्ही एवढं निश्चितपणे प्रयत्न करू आणि त्याच्यापेक्षा जास्तीचा लागली तर मदत त्यासाठी जी लागेल, अगदी पेटंट सादर करण्यासाठीची असणारी फीस जी असेल, साहेब आपण आपल्या पदरची घालू गरज बसली तर पण आपण त्यासाठी प्रयत्न करावेत असं मला वाटतं. पेटंट आपण शब्द सकाळपासून ऐकतो, मला खरं असं वाटतं की बौद्धिक संपदाची जी शक्ती काय असू शकते, आज काळ प्रचंड बदलतोय. म्हणजे मी मराठीतली उदाहरण 1-2 देतो, मला त्याचं म्हणजे फक्त त्याचे संदर्भ लक्षात येतील. 1972 साली डॉक्टर आनंद यादवांची गोतावळा नावाची कादंबरी आली आणि गोतावळा कादंबरीमध्ये चित्रण असं आलेलं आहे की नारबा जो आहे हा नारबा बैल आणि सगळ्या अवताच्या माध्यमातून शेती करणारा होता आणि त्याच दरम्यान ट्रॅक्टर आला आणि ट्रॅक्टर आल्यानंतर नारबा या ठिकाणी बाद झाला, ज्याला यंत्र संस्कृतीचं कृषी संस्कृतीवरती असणारं अतिक्रमण जे आहे ते अतिक्रमण नारबाला ते सहन होऊ शकलं नाही आणि त्यामुळं नारबाला ट्रॅक्टर येत नाही, नारबाला ट्रॅक्टरच्या संपूर्ण यंत्रसामग्रीची माहिती नाही, आपोआप नारबा बाजूला झाला. मग आपली अवस्था तशीच आहे. येणारी आव्हानं जे आहे ते आव्हान आपण जर स्वीकारली नाहीत तर आपण कदाचित काळाच्या बाजूला जाण्याची शक्यता आहे. हिंगरे सर असो किंवा नागरे सरांनी आपल्या 83% उल्लेख केला. 83% एवढ्या नोकऱ्या बघायला कशाला पाहिजेत, सांगायला कशाला पाहिजे कोणी, त्याला कशाला एक्सपर्ट पाहिजे. 17 वर्षापासून आमचे प्राध्यापक सकाळी 10 आणि 12 हजारामध्ये काम करतायत, कशाला अजून 83% आकडा कोणी सांगायला पाहिजे आपल्याला. आणि म्हणून जर यातून बाहेर पडायचं असेल तर आपल्याला स्वतःच्या पायावरती उभं राहण्याची क्षमता आपल्याला आपली बौद्धिक क्षमताच करू शकते की ज्यावरती कुणाचंही नियंत्रण नाही, फक्त आपलं स्वतःचं नियंत्रण आहे. मित्रांनो, मला एक गोष्ट या निमित्तानं आठवते, त्याचा संबंध याच्याशी फारसा जोडू नका, पण लाखोंच्या संख्येने हिंदी गाणी येत आहेत, लाखोंच्या संख्येनं मराठी गाणी येत आहेत, लाखोंच्या संख्येनं सुमारे माझ्या माहितीप्रमाणे या देशामध्ये दरवर्षी सुमारे 750 चित्रपट येतात. आता प्रत्येक चित्रपट आपण जर बघितला तर त्यातले बऱ्यापैकी चित्रपट प्रेम या विषयावरचे आहेत आणि या सगळ्या विषयाला अनुसरून मध्यंतरी एक सैराट चित्रपट आला, विषय त्याचा फारसा काही वेगळा नाही, पण असं म्हणतात की तेच काम थोडंसं वेगळ्या पद्धतीने केलं की ते उठून दिसतं. आणि म्हणून सैराटसारखा एखादा चित्रपट येतो आणि त्या चित्रपटाच्या निमित्तानं 8वीत असणारी कन्या 9वीत गेल्यानंतर तिचं चित्रपटाचं चित्रीकरण पूर्ण होतं आणि तिला चारी बाजूनी कमांडोंचं या ठिकाणी पूर्णपणे संरक्षण द्यावं लागतं. ती ज्या झाडावर बसली, त्या ज्या बुलेटवर बसली, ज्या घरामध्ये ती गेली, ज्या विहिरीत उडी मारली, तिथं पाहण्यासाठी लाखोंची गर्दी त्या ठिकाणी जात होती. मला वाटतं पेटंट नावाची गोष्ट पेटंट त्यांनी घेतलं की ती माहिती नाही. प्रश्न पेटंट संबंध त्याचा जोडत नाही, पण एखादं काम जग आपल्याकडे कसं लक्ष वेधून घेता येईल, लक्ष कसं वेधून घेता येईल, काम तेच आहे, फक्त वेगळ्या पद्धतीने त्यांनी केलं आणि या संपूर्ण महाराष्ट्राने ते स्वीकारले. पेटंट ही स्वतःपेक्षा काही वेगळी गोष्ट नाही. सावित्रीबाई फुले पुणे सातत्यानं आविष्कारच्या स्पर्धा घेतात, दुसरं काहीच नाही त्याच्यामध्ये. माझं तर मत असं आहे की आपल्याकडच्या इमॅजिनेशनला, आपल्याकडच्या कल्पनाशक्तीला जर वाव मिळवून द्यायचा असेल तर फक्त टीव्हीवरच्या जाहिराती डोळे उघडून बघितल्यात तरी सुद्धा आपल्याकडे आपली कल्पना खरं तर तेज होऊ शकते. आणि मला आठवतं की थोडस तेच काम फक्त वेगळ्या पद्धतीने केलं की ते माणसं प्रसिद्ध होत आहे. हिंदी चित्रपटातलं एक मला गाणं आठवतंय, मला वाटतं, मला ते नाव आठवणं बरेच दिवस झाले. खरं तर ते गाणं असं आहे, त्याचा संबंध पेटंटचा कुठे जोडायचा हे मला माहिती नाही, पण तुम्हाला, या प्रेक्षकांना, या जनतेला तुम्हाला किती चांगल्या प्रकारानं तुम्हाला बोलवता येतं, ते बोलवता आलं की तुमची या ठिकाणी इमॅजिनेशन शक्ती खरं तर निश्चित होते. पण इथं मात्र आपल्या स्वतःच्या बुद्धीचा कस लावावा लागणार आहे. पण जगाचं लक्ष वेधण्यासाठी काय करावं लागतं तर मला त्या गाण्याचं फक्त दोन तीन शब्द तुम्हाला सांगतो. 7 समुंदर पार करके पीछे पीछे आ गई नावाचा चित्रपट, ते गाणं बघितलं आणि मला त्यातलं वैशिष्ट्य सांगायचं असं की त्या गाण्यामध्ये तिथं असणारी जी कोणी अभिनेत्री असेल ती अभिनेत्री व्यासपीठावरती नाचते आणि आपण 7 समुंदर पार करके पीछे पीछे आ गईच्या मध्ये लागतो. म्हणजे आपण किती डोळेझाकपणाने काही गोष्टींच्यावरती विश्वास ठेवतो आणि त्याचं या ठिकाणी वेडं बनतो. पेटंट मात्र एवढी साधी सोपी गोष्ट नाही. आपण त्याच्यामध्ये खऱ्या अर्थानं आपल्या बुद्धीचा कस लावून आपली बौद्धिक क्षमता सिद्ध करूया, यासाठी शुभेच्छा देतो आणि थांबतो. धन्यवाद.
गाण्यावरनं मला आहे ना एकच मिनिटं घेतो फक्त. मी लिरिक्स रायटर आहे आणि मी आता एक भोसले सर, मी आता माझं एक गाणं येतंय, तर ते बाबासाहेब आंबेडकरांवर गाणं मी लिहावं अशी माझ्या बऱ्याच मित्रांची इच्छा होती. तर मी लिहिलं पण, आणि आनंद शिंदे, मिलिंद शिंदे हे पण माझे मित्र आहेत. तर मी त्यांना रिक्वेस्ट केली, ती मोठे माणसं आहेत ह्या विषयातले, मी खूप छोटा व्यक्ती आहे त्यांच्या पुढे. त्यांना म्हणलं, अरे तुम्ही मला जरा, आपण सगळ्यांनी मिळून हे गाणं गाऊया अशी माझी इच्छा आहे. थोड्या मॅसिव्ह स्केलवर ते गाणं आम्ही शूट करणार आहे. मग परवाकडे ते घरी आलेले होते दोघे, तर हे गाणं ऐकव. मग मी गाणं ऐकवलं त्यांना. आता बघा, कॉपीराईट माझ्याकडे आहे, ते लिरिक्स रायटर मी आहे. मिलिंद शिंदे म्हटला तुझ्यावर आम्ही केस टाकू शकतो. म्हटलं कसं काय बाबा? म्हणजे ही ट्यून जी आहे, ही ट्यूनची मालकी आमच्याकडे, जे तू म्हणतोय ना ते, मला असं होऊ शकत नाही, हे मी स्वतः लिहिलेलं गाणं आहे आणि मी कशी तू. मग त्यांनी सांगितलं, आता एक काम कर म्हटलं, आमचं गाणं आहे जेव्हा नवीन पोपट हा, ह्याची पहिली लाईन म्हण आणि तू लिहिलेल्या गाण्याची लाईन म्हण, आणि मग आपण ठरवूयात खरं काय आणि खोटं काय, बरं का? आणि मी अनभिज्ञ नाही बरं का सगळं ह्या प्रकारापासून. त्यांनी मला हेही सांगितलं मिलिंदरावने की हे काही जाणीवपूर्वक केलेलं नाही, पण हे डोक्यामध्ये एखादी गोष्ट साठलेली असते का त्याच्यावरनं ते होत राहतं. त्या गाण्याचे लाईन्स मी सांगतो, तुमच्या लक्षात येईल की कॉपीराईट इन्फ्रिंजमेंट कशी होते किंवा पेटंट इन्फ्रिंजमेंट काय असू शकते. आता ते गाण्याची लाईन माझ्या गाण्याची आणि नंतर त्या मिलिंदरावच्या गाण्याची मी गाऊन दाखवतो. माझ्या भीमाच्या लेखनीनं लिहिलं भारताचं संविधान, माझ्या भीमाच्या लेखनीनं लिहिलं भारताचं संविधान, जेव्हा नवीन लागला मिठू मिठू बोलायला. 1001% ट्यून माझ्याकडनं कॉपी झाली आणि ह्याच्याविषयी मी विज्ञ होतो. मग आता आम्ही एक त्यांच्या विथ हिज परमिशन आय एम गोइंग टू शूट दिस, आणि एक त्याची ट्यून ते चेंज करणार. मिलिंद शिंदे इज क्लासिकल सिंगर, खूप मोठे सिंगर आहेत ते, बट ही अश्युर्ड मी दॅट ही विल मेक व्हेरिएशन्स अँड वी विल इम्प्रोवाइज इट. असं होतं. तर त्याच्यामुळे हे डॉक्युमेंटेशन खूप महत्वाचं आहे. पेटेंट असेल, कॉपीराईट असेल, त्याचं सर्टिफिकेशन, इतक्या बारीक बारीक गोष्टीला लोक कोर्टात जात आहेत आज. आणि आपण एकच करायचं, जी आयडिया येईल ना ती तुम्ही उतरवा कागदावर, तुम्ही लढा फक्त. आणि 100% 29 पेटेंट सर म्हणतात तसं 1 वर्षात आपण मिळवू शकतो. थँक्यू.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words of wisdom. I request to Dr. Kamayani Surve ma'am to deliver vote of thanks.
मोठं काम.
नमस्कार. रयत शिक्षण संस्थेचं महात्मा फुले महाविद्यालय पिंपरी पुणे आणि डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर महाविद्यालय औंध पुणे यांच्या संयुक्त विद्यमानं आयोजित आज एक एकदिवसीय कार्यशाळा आयोजित केली. या कार्यशाळेचा विषय अत्यंत रिलेव्हंट होता, इंटलेक्च्युअल प्रॉपर्टी राईट्स, अ गेटवे टू इनोव्हेशन अँड ग्रोथ. या कार्यशाळेचा समापन सत्राचा शेवटचा आभाराचा प्रसंग माझ्याकडे आहे. अत्यंत थोडक्यात मी आभार व्यक्त करणार आहे. विचार मंचावर उपस्थित असलेले सर्व आदरणीय आणि विचार मंचासमोरील आपण सर्व समादरणीय, आज खरंच आपल्याला एक वैचारिक समृद्ध आपण झाल्यासारखं झालेलं आहे. कारण इथं जी व्याख्यानं दिली गेली, ज्या इंटरॅक्शन्स झाल्या, ह्याच्यातून आपल्याला पेटंट्स आणि इंटलेक्च्युअल प्रॉपर्टी राईट्स बद्दलचं खूप वास्तविक ज्ञान आपल्याला मिळालेलं आहे. सुरुवातीला बीजभाषणामध्ये आदरणीय ऍडव्होकेट हिंगमिरे सरांनी आपल्या कल्चरल हेरिटेजचा उल्लेख करून हे सांगितलं. जीआयचा त्यांनी जीआयचे जे त्यांचे जे पब्लिश झालेले आहेत जीआयच, त्याबाबत त्यांनी सांगितलं. मग ते स्ट्रॉबेरी असेल, ज्वारी कोकम किंवा कवडी माळ, किंवा त्यांनी इथं सुद्धा सांगितलं महात्मा फुले पगडीचं पण आपण जीआय करू शकतो. म्हणजे तुझे आहे तुझं पाशी, हे त्यांनी आपल्याला दाखवून दिलं. आणि आज NEP 2020 मध्ये आपण IKS जे बघतो, इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टीम, त्याचं रिफ्लेक्शन आपल्याला बीजभाषणामध्ये दिसलं आणि त्याचा पेटंटशी संबंध आणि खूप चांगल्या पद्धतीने त्यांनी ते अत्यंत खेळीमेळीच्या वातावरणात विशद करून सांगितलं. त्याचप्रमाणे आदरणीय लेफ्टनंट डॉक्टर कांतीलाल नागरे सरांनी अतिशय सहज सोप्या पद्धतीनं पेटंट कसं फाईल करायचं, त्याची प्रोसिजर काय आहे हे आपल्याला सांगितलं. आणि त्यांनी WIPOचा आपल्याला रेफरन्स दिला, जो आपल्यासाठी खूप महत्वाचा आहे. आणि त्याचा विशेष एक उल्लेख मला आवडला की हिंदी पेटंट त्यांनी त्या बाबतचं सुद्धा मार्गदर्शन केलं, तर त्याबद्दल त्यांचे आभार. डॉक्टर रिंकेश कुरकुरे सर, त्यांनी आपल्याला स्टेप बाय स्टेप गाईड कसं पेटंट फाईल करायचं आणि त्यातले लिगल ऍस्पेक्ट्स काय आहेत हे अतिशय व्यवस्थितपणे समजावून सांगितले. त्याबद्दल त्यांचेही या दोन्ही महाविद्यालयांच्या वतीनं आभार. आणि आता तिसरं सत्र आणि समापन सत्राचे प्रमुख मार्गदर्शक आदरणीय डॉक्टर किशोर निकम सरांना आम्ही ऐकलेलं आहे यापूर्वी सुद्धा. NSS कॅम्पमध्ये पण सरांनी खूप छान मार्गदर्शन केलं आणि आता सुद्धा व्हर्सेटाईल पर्सनॅलिटी सरांची आहे. आणि कॉपीराईट्स बाबत त्यांनी जे आपल्याला मार्गदर्शन केलं की पायरसी आणि प्लॅगॅरिझम काय आहे या बाबतीतलं ते नॉलेज आपल्याला असणं, रिसर्चरला पहिल्यांदा प्लॅगॅरिझमचं नॉलेज असणं गरजेचं आहे. कारण आता कॉपी पेस्टचा जमाना आहे आणि या कॉपी पेस्टच्या जमान्यात कॉपीराईट काय आहे हे अत्यंत विशद महत्वाचं गोष्ट त्यांनी विशद केली. आणि जपानमधली मुलं सुद्धा, लहान मुलं पेटंट घेतात असंही त्यांनी उल्लेख केला. आणि या सगळ्याचं संयोजन ज्यांनी केलं ते या डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर महाविद्यालयाचे आमचे मार्गदर्शक प्राचार्य डॉक्टर अरुण आंधळे साहेब यांच्या कल्पकतेला दाद द्यावी तेवढी थोडीच आहे की जे रिलेव्हंट, जे आता या तुषारने आपल्या मनोगतात ज्याचा उल्लेख केला की विद्यार्थी केंद्रस्थानी मानून विद्यार्थ्यांना इनोव्हेशनकडे नेणारे ही त्यांची कल्पकता आणि त्यांच्या या थिंक टँक आपण त्यांना म्हणू शकू या सगळ्याचे. तर साहेब आपलेही या दोन्ही महाविद्यालयांच्या वतीनं आभार. आजचं अध्यक्षीय मनोगत ज्यांनी व्यक्त केलं आता या समापन सत्राचं, ते आमच्या महाविद्यालयाचं आमचे मार्गदर्शक नेतृत्व आदरणीय प्राचार्य प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर पांडुरंग भोसले साहेबांनी अतिशय खुमासदार शैलीमध्ये पेटंट्स बाबत आपल्याला हसत खेळत अतिशय छान पद्धतीनं उदाहरण दिलं. त्यांनी आपल्याला गोतावळ्यातला नारबा व्हायचं नाहीये असं सांगितलं आणि एक संकल्प सोडला, 29 पेटंट आपल्या सगळ्यांची मिळून फाईल व्हायली. आपण संख्या वाढली तर आपल्याला नक्कीच आनंद होईल. साहेब आपलेही मनापासून आभार.
या वर्कशॉपचे ऑर्गनायझिंग सेक्रेटरी महात्मा फुले महाविद्यालयाच्या कॉमर्स विद्याशाखेचे उपप्राचार्य डॉक्टर मारुती केकाणे सर, त्याचप्रमाणे या डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर महाविद्यालयातले डॉक्टर कुशल पाखरे सर यांनी अतिशय मेहनत घेतलेली आहे. दोघांचेही मनापासून आभार. याच्या कन्व्हिनर महात्मा फुले महाविद्यालयाच्या विज्ञान शाखेच्या उपप्राचार्य प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर संगीता अहिवळे मॅडम, ज्यांनी रॅपोर्चरचं पण इथे खूप सुंदर पद्धतीनं रिपोर्ट दिवसभराचा जे आपण ऐकलं त्याचा सादर केला, आणि त्या याच्या कन्व्हिनर आहेत मॅडम. आणि त्याचप्रमाणे बद्रीनाथ ढाकणे सर अत्यंत बारकाईने जाऊन खूप सखोल पद्धतीने त्यांनी हे सगळं नेटकं नियोजन केलं. ढाकणे सर, आपलेही मनापासून आभार. को कन्व्हिनर प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर प्रभंजन चव्हाण सर, यांचेही आभार. त्याचप्रमाणे इथं सकाळच्या उद्घाटन सत्राला रयत शिक्षण संस्थेचे लाईफ मेंबर प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर दत्तात्रय हिंगणे सर उपस्थित होते. सरांचेही मनपूर्वक आभार. IQSC कोऑर्डिनेटर, IQSC ह्या सगळ्याचं संयोजन करत असतं. IQSC कोऑर्डिनेटर महात्मा फुले महाविद्यालयाचे आदरणीय डॉक्टर नीलकंठ रहाळे सर आणि डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर महाविद्यालयाच्या डॉक्टर सविता पाटील मॅडम, यांचेही आभार. आणि सकाळपासून आपण ऐकतोय अतिशय सुंदर इंग्लिश, मराठी, हिंदीमध्ये निवेदन करणारे आमचे निवेदक प्राध्यापिका रीमा बत्रा मॅडम आणि प्राध्यापिका आसावरी शेवाळे मॅडम. निवेदकांसाठी एकदा टाळ्या झाल्या पाहिजेत. त्याचप्रमाणे या सेशन मधले परिचय आणि आभार करून दिले ज्यांनी प्राध्यापक प्रसाद बाटे सर, डॉक्टर प्रतिमा कदम मॅडम, प्राध्यापिका अनुप्रिया प्रभू मॅडम, दोन्ही महाविद्यालयांतले मधले सर्व स्टाफ, या आणि अतिशय छान जेवण आज ज्यांनी आपल्याला दिलं त्या भोजन समितीचे प्रमुख या महाविद्यालयाचे डॉक्टर तानाजी हतेकर सर, डॉक्टर बाळासाहेब कलापुरे सर, त्यांचेही आभार. स्वागत समितीचे प्रमुख डॉक्टर राजेंद्र रासकर सर, दिवेकर मॅडम, त्याचप्रमाणे संपूर्ण रजिस्ट्रेशन समिती कांबळे सर, कांबळे मॅडम, मोनिका परिहार, स्वाती चव्हाण मॅडम, पूजा सूर्यवंशी मॅडम, सर्वांचे आभार. टेक्निकल सपोर्ट सचिन सरांनी दिलेला आहे. फोटोसाठी गणेश पवार सरांनी आणि गुजर सरांनी. युट्यूबचं हे लाईव्ह प्रसारण आपण नंतर सुद्धा आपण ऐकू शकतो की यातले जे अतिशय की ऍस्पेक्ट्स आहेत आपल्याला परत रिवाइज करायचे असले तर युट्यूब लाईव्ह वर हे आहे सगळं. ह्याच्यासाठी खरंच एकदा या गोष्टी टेक्निशियनसाठी सुद्धा जोरदार टाळ्या झाल्या पाहिजेत, कारण हे संपूर्ण जगापर्यंत त्यांनी इथलं नॉलेज पोहोचवलेलं आहे. त्याचप्रमाणे या दोन्ही महाविद्यालयामध्ये जे कार्यालयातले जे प्रशासकीय सहकारी आहेत त्यांचेही आभार. उपस्थित सर्व प्राध्यापक, रिसर्च स्टुडंट्स, तुम्ही छान इंटरॅक्शन केलं, पार्टिसिपेट झालात यामध्ये, त्याच्यामुळे लाईव्हलीनेस वाढतो आपला आणि नॉलेज शेअरिंगला मदत होते. तुमचे सर्वांचे मनापासून आभार. सगळ्यात महत्वाचं म्हणजे ज्या विद्यार्थ्यांनी इथं प्रतिक्रिया दिल्या, तुषारची पेटेंट फाईल झालेलं आहे आणि 2 प्रोसेसमध्ये. तुषार, तुझं मनापासून अभिनंदन आणि तुला सर्व पुढच्या पेटेंटसाठी आमच्या सगळ्यांकडून हार्दिक शुभेच्छा. मंदाकिनीने अतिशय छान पद्धतीनं इथं म्हणजे काय मिळालं तुम्हाला विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, सगळ्यात महत्वाचे घटक तुम्ही आहात आणि हे तुमच्यासाठी आणि टोटल ह्युमन डेव्हलपमेंटसाठी. हे सगळं कशासाठी करतोय? सस्टेनेबल गोल्सचा इथे उल्लेख झाला की ही आपली मानवी मूल्य शेवटी सगळ्यात महत्वाची आहेत आणि त्या मानवी मूल्यांची जपणूक करत करत आपण पेटेंटच्या दिशेने आणि सर्व इंटलेक्च्युअल प्रॉपर्टीच्या दिशेने पुढे जाणार आहोत. तर या ठिकाणी सर्वांचे पुन्हा एकदा आभार व्यक्त करते. जर कुणाचा चुकून नामोल्लेख राहिला असेल तर क्षमस्व. सर्वांचे पुन्हा एकदा आभार. मला इथं व्यक्त होण्याची संधी दिली, मनापासून धन्यवाद. थँक्यू. महात्मा फुले महाविद्यालय पिंपरी इथं उपस्थित असलेल्या सर्व प्राध्यापकांसाठी सूचना आहे की उद्या आपला स्पोर्ट्स डेचं समापन आहे. उद्या सेकंड कॅम्पसला सकाळी 8 वाजता आपण तिथे जायचं आहे. धन्यवाद.
एक लास्ट रिक्वेस्ट सभी से, QR कोड दिया है, प्लीज स्कैन करके फीडबैक सबमिट कीजिए. लेट्स कंक्लूड द प्रोग्राम विथ नेशनल एंथम.
राष्ट्रगीतानं कार्यक्रमाची सांगता होते. भारत माता की जय. प्रत्येकाच्या याच्यामध्ये QR कोड आहे जे तो